You know, it's good for the customer.
What's your average ticket, Michael?
$1,800.
That's your average? Holy shit. Do you realize you were 5 times over his average on damage on our vehicle?
So when you started?
According to Michael?
Where's your shop at, Mike?
Castle Rock.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful.
I just got an update from my neighbor's car.
Do you own that land?
Backed into there.
I don't own the main building that you come into. I've got a production facility across the street
That you bought?
we've got the ground on.
I wanted to buy that trailer park behind you. That guy doesn't even entertain a conversation. That is the nicest, biggest, best cash flowing trailer park I think there is.
There is so much property in that off of Wolfensburg. It's called the revitalization district now. It is all old school Castle Rock owners. It's all the people who were down there when it was a cow town.
Literally.
And they all held on to it. I was dealing with the Johnsons from Johnson's Auto Plaza up in Brighton, trying to buy a building from them. And she just flat out told me numbers that were just stupid.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And I'm looking at this building going, it's an armpit. And you want how much for it?
Yeah.
She's like, I'll just give it to my kids then.
Yeah, they don't need the money, so they're not. Yeah.
My kid's Taekwondo guy bought you know where, I think is it Checker Auto Parts? It's over by the car wash.
I need to get
the big car wash.
insurance onto.
He owns that mall there.
Bill from the Republican.
It's got the Taekwondo place, it's got like a sushi place, and then he's got I think like an AT&T or Verizon. His property taxes, $112,000 a year.
Not so subtle way of
In Castle Rock, I'm going, in his mall was only 4 or 5 units. The good year I had there, our property tax was $18,000.
Other than new brakes and $50 back by mail. That's Napa know-how.
We moved Castle Rock 01, and man, there was nothing there.
You're unique, so why is your mattress one size fits all? It's Joe Pags.
About 3 years ago when it really
custom mattresses shipped right to your door for hundreds of dollars.
That's going to be great for you. I mean, absolutely great. You just need more room, man. Your parking lot is insane. There's times where literally I got to park at the Waffle House to walk over, which is great for you, but man, it's tough. How many times have a customer run into another customer in your lot?
Actually, not that often. The best part is when they come in and they start bitching to me about not having any parking.
Yeah.
That shop right across the street has plenty of parking.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you think that is?
Why don't you go over there?
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere, the longest-running radio show with a continual host, and we are here to solve your problems. This is the selfish show. People tune in to get help. But some people just call to get help. They've never tuned in before. We don't mind. We'll help you. Then the people who listen regularly, they don't often need help because of the stuff they learn here. So if you need help, give us a call, 303-713-TALK. Now, help can be real help, where we get directly involved to solve the problem. It can be simply information you need, a question you have, or you just want to give kudos to somebody. Because we do have a family of companies at the referral list that help people. Ron is an example of one of them. Ron is down on his luck a little. He is working, never stopped working, but found himself in a situation where he had to, he lost his home, and he had a truck, a commercial truck that he uses for business, but huge box truck, it broke down. He needed to get it stored, but he couldn't get it moved. He just had a whole bunch of things going wrong. And he said, if I could get my truck out of this parking lot and into a yard just temporarily, I am doing work for Amazon, delivering, and this would help me get over the hump. And he needed help with some various other things that our show was able to help with through a generous listener. Then he said he needed his truck towed. And what happened, Ron?
Well, yesterday I called, and Mark had cast iron towing where I needed it within an hour. And I really appreciate it.
And they did not charge you?
did not charge me, and I've got to have this thing moved again in a month, and I'll pay for it, and I will use cast iron towing without a doubt.
They're good people.
You know, these are the guys that said, listen, for any Martino listeners, $75 anywhere to and from Denver metro area. And I'm plugging them because they help us out all the time. They're great people. 303-292-1542, cast iron towing, tons of trucks, $75 anywhere Denver metro. And thanks, Martin, for helping this guy out. You realize that tow on a big box van like that, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This was no little vehicle, man.
They really helped this guy out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cast Iron Recovery, or it's Cast Iron Towing.
It's Cast Iron Recovery.
Yeah. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Today, in studio, Mark Machowski, Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. Kevin Kalkin with Sheridan Auto Tech. And then joining us for the first time is Michael Seda, and he's with Michael's Auto Body in Castle Rock.
Great guys. You know how I know him?
You've sent his kids to college.
Pretty much.
Probably.
Between my son and my wife, Michael, I have spent a lot of money with this man. And I got to say this, in all honesty, he's probably the best body shop guy I've ever used in my life.
Great. Great. We're going to talk. So, if you have questions today, anything to do with cars, today is car day. And, you know, you can ask about the body or frame, and we don't often have body people, and that's a good, cool thing to do. Now, let's start off with Kirk, who wants to know something about real estate. Go ahead, Kirk.
Hi, can you hear me, Tom?
I sure can. What's going on, Kirk?
Well, thanks for taking my call. I'm a Colorado native, and I've listened to you for, 20-plus years, but never called in.
Well, I hope we can help.
Yeah, thank you. So the question I have is real estate, and I'm sorry I missed yesterday. I understand that was your real estate day, but my wife and I purchased a new home, closed on the 28th of March. It was contingent on a sale of the home we were living in, and we worked with an agent who guided us through the process, and in particular there was a roofing inspection that we needed to do. Based on the inspection report, the report stated that there was a cracked roofing tile and the roof needed to be evaluated by a professional. I hired a roofing company. They fixed the cracked tile. They fixed 3 others. I asked them to evaluate and inspect the roof while they were up there. They got
now, wait a
down.
minute. This is before you closed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is to close the home. We needed to fulfill this inspection report.
Oh, to sell your home.
Correct.
Okay, you said you just bought one. This is to sell. Got it. Okay, then what? Then what?
Yeah, it was contingent. So we turned the inspection invoice report, whatever you want to call it, from the roofing company to our broker, our agent, who then said she forwarded it to the buyer's agent. We didn't hear anything at all until, and the closing was March 28th. We heard from the buyer's agent and the buyer on April 25th, who showed us a video of 2 tiles that were concrete tiles. They had slid down from their position, and now the buyer is wanting and claiming we did not have an inspection done, and is wanting us to not only fix those tiles, but he's going to do a full roof inspection and wants us liable for all the tiles that he claims.
Kirk, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
As part of the contract, they asked you to have the roof inspected?
Yes.
They asked you to do it.
That's strange.
This was after their home inspector red flagged it?
The home inspector came out, did not get on the roof. He said there was snow up there.
Okay, I understand. But then why did it go to you to have it done? Why? I don't understand this. Why?
Because the buyer's agent told our agent that we needed to have the roof
inspected,
evaluated. Yes.
So you had it evaluated, and the guy you that had it evaluated fixed some tiles.
Correct.
Did he also give you a report?
He did not give us a report, just an invoice that said fixed tile as instructed plus 2 additionals while inspecting.
Okay, but the contract said you had to have it evaluated, not fixed.
Yeah, and you're right, and
So you did not have it evaluated.
Not to what I'm understanding.
So you don't know if there were serious problems. This guy did not look for serious problems. He just went up and looked for cracked tiles.
Correct.
And fixed cracked tiles. But the contract amendment said you were going to do what? Have the roof evaluated? Kirk?
We got to look at this contract.
Kirk, hello.
I'd like to see the inspection objection
I'm
as
hanging
well.
up. I'm hanging up because he's not there. So, Kirk, bottom line is this. If you violated the contract, it did not have the roof professionally evaluated, then you could possibly be responsible now. You know, I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, the contract said you have the roof evaluated, not that you go up and replace cracked shingles. What if there are way more problems? If there are, you would have found it out possibly. No matter what, if the contract said evaluated and you didn't do it, well, then you got to pay for an evaluation. And if it's serious problems, and if there are serious problems, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. So what you ought to do is hope you don't have serious problems. Okay, you were disconnected. Kirk, bottom line, if you did not have that roof evaluated as specified in the contract, and I can't believe they didn't ask at closing whether you had it evaluated or not. Why didn't they ask for a document?
That's one reason why I'm calling, and I also like to ask, does my agent have a responsibility to make sure that we follow the inspection requirements?
Well, sure. I imagine that. Yeah, they do. They do. But it doesn't matter that you didn't do it. So you didn't do it. Now that you didn't do it, there might be consequences. Now, whether or not your broker's going to chip in for that, they have errors and omissions insurance. They're supposed to help you through this. But, Kirk, it's pretty easy to know you knew the roof was an issue, and you didn't know it said evaluated? You thought it said fix broken tiles?
No, I told the roofer when he went up there that we needed to fix the tile per the home inspection report, and I also need him to evaluate the roof.
Did he evaluate it?
Inspect it?
Maybe he did.
He told me he did. He came down.
Okay, so get a report from him right now. If he evaluated it, where's the written report?
So the buyer and the buyer's agent called the roofing company and asked them if they evaluate it, and this roofer, who was not the owner, said he didn't evaluate it. He told them something completely different.
I wouldn't mess with this, man. I would send everything you have over to someone like Ryan Wood and have him look at what's going on. I think possibly his realtor has some responsibility here.
He may have some, but Kirk, he ultimately is not responsible for fixing your roof, okay? You're the one that got paid for the home. You're the one that lived in the home. Your realtor doesn't have to fix it. Your realtor may have some responsibility. Bottom line is, the roofer told you he evaluated it. He told them he didn't. You should have had some kind of written report. I think the onus and the responsibility is yours, mainly yours. You had a contract that said you were going to get evaluated, and you didn't. We have more coming up. Joe wants to talk about a shop. What? That had his car more than a year? Joe, what's the name of the shop that had your car more than a year? What's the name of the shop, sir? Well, we're going to have a problem there. I can tell that right off the bat, so we got to figure out we can't hear him. Coming up.
I'd love to see that.
Suzanne, I can't hear line 3 at all.
Joel?
What is this picture?
Oh dear.
Did you get this picture?
The pictures I sent of the rust, I have Michael looking at them too. And I have the Subaru warranty printed out.
What part of the car is it?
And apparently there's a 5-year rust warranty with Subaru, but
Not
that's
if-
the
not
one
if they
Mark,
break
Mark, that's the one I was telling you about in New York, where everything rusts, but anyway, here's the lines. I'll check on line 3.
Okay,
Joe, get him out of here, please. Just take Joe and substitute for me, please.
See, I knew she had all these refunds.
Okay.
And then,
Last date of sale was 1990. She bought it for $67.
Just last, okay.
You know what she did? All she did was quit claim it.
Yeah.
This is all a Medicaid deal. She quit claimed it over to him. They did not file it, so she's still on record is why they paid for the tub. You follow what I'm saying? If he owned it, they're not going to pay for the tub. So that's how she got the tub. And she does have encumbrances left and right. She's got a 2014 second and a 2003 refi. So she probably owed quite a bit on it.
Okay.
Are you over 50?
But no, she quit claiming it. He's got to be on it, because the way I understood it, if she was on it, they would say Medicaid's not going to pay for it. They would take it from the house.
Yeah, we don't even want to talk about it. But the deal is, it's fine. I have no problem. She basically did a private reverse mortgage, is how I look at it.
So it doesn't say how much it was.
Well, no, because they never filed it.
Henson McLean has been hosting free retirement workshops for more than thousands of people.
200 anyway.
So if something gets into an accident, Michael, and it's cracked and you fix it, if you don't fix it right, there could be rust, and then therefore the warranty would have nothing to do with anything, right?
Subaru's warranty states that if it's a defective panel from basically a body shop,
Yeah.
it's over.
How about if you do it properly, though? Could they still make that argument? Because
It's going to go back to the shop first.
Got it.
And how is it determined that it's a defective body panel?
Anytime you go through a panel and you grind the G code off a panel from the factory, it basically gives them their out. And either I'm welding it or I'm grinding it, I'm going to take the paint off.
So you basically get into a wreck, your rust warranty is
Unless I replace that panel with a brand new panel from
Subaru.
there.
Then
Got it. All right.
But even still, they'll come back to you for, sure, yeah.
Here's the rust warranty, and then something from the shop.
Were they in
case you wanna read.
an accident, though?
I don't think so, but I couldn't say for sure, Mark. I didn't get that much info on it.
That's weird. Yeah.
Denver's fine on that one, Dan.
Lucky man.
Try not to run into anybody on your way out of here.
You sleep with one eye open, Mark?
Some nights.
Yeah.
My Doberman is very loyal to me.
At least gives you a warning before, yeah.
We were thinking about getting a Doberman after our German Shepherd.
I've had two Dobies and I love them. My next will be a Shepherd. They're just, the climate here is horrible for Doberman.
Is it?
Yep. They scratch, thyroids.
It's bad for Shepherds too.
Is it that bad?
Well, not the climate. What do you mean the climate?
Well, the dry skin.
The dryness.
Oh, yeah, but and when you measure that against no fleas.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But Dobermans have bad skin.
Well,
In general.
both Dobermans I had, I mean, their skin's horrible, man. You know, they're both on fish oils and stuff their whole life.
Oh, wow.
And they both have thyroid issues. But that's not a big deal.
The only thing we did with our German Shepherd was in the summer, brush it real good.
Well, the nice part about
God.
Shepherds, though, they're much warmer, too, during the winter, where
Well, I try to
Doberman's
let him in the house at 11 o'clock at night, it's 10 degrees out. He just looks at it, you don't want to come in.
I'll say this, though, as far as the presence of an animal, I think a full-size Doberman scares the hell out of people more than a Shepherd.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
I think it's equal amount.
I don't know, man. I always have their ears cropped. I've got them looking the way they're
When
supposed
I had
to.
my towing company, we had Shepherds.
Oh, I love it.
They'd be out in the middle of the lot. I thought they were dead.
Yeah, I
They
think
popped their
we
head
know
over
better.
the
You know,
I keep thinking when Frank Duran, the real estate man, does a transaction, these things we don't hear about these things. I mean, he just babysits you and just walks you through every single item when it comes to what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it. Don't forget, if you're selling a home, you were listing a home, you want to do it safely, efficiently, get the most money for it and sell it faster, statistically, FrankDuranTheRealEstateMan.com, 303-920-1622. So, now we have a guy who's had his car in for more than a year. That's puzzling. Joe, what's the name of the shop?
The name of the shop is Cowboy Up Automotive.
Cowboy what?
Uh-oh, this is
Cowboy-
weird. Why is that? Why is my head dinging here?
Cowboy Up?
There's something.
Cowboy Up.
We've heard this name, man. This is not good.
I've not heard the name.
Yeah, Suzanne, we've heard Cowboy Up.
I don't know if we have.
God, I'm
Mark. You
telling-
might be
I gotta look it up.
confused.
Well, maybe we did, but I usually don't forget stuff. So this Cowboy Up, what happened?
Well, I'm going to condense it as much as possible.
Yeah, and where the hell is that
half.
name? Who calls their business what does it even mean, Cowboy Up? Okay, so anyway, is that an expression
Yeah.
or something? Oh, like Cowboy Up, like, I don't know. Anyway, so
Yeah.
Cowboy Up is what is it, a garage, a repair shop? What is it?
Yeah, it's a garage, and I took we took my daughter to a friend of mine's shop, and he looked at it. And
what kind of car is it?
It's a 2005 Cadillac SUV.
Okay, so you take a Caddy SUV in 1 year ago, and why'd you take it in?
Well, the way it worked out was I took it into a friend of mine's, and then he realized the motor was going to need to be rebuilt, but he couldn't do it, so he referred me to his neighbor mechanic, who was Cowboy Up Automotive. So I went over and I talked to them. I asked the guy, can he do it? And he said, yeah, no problem. Just have him push it over here on my side. So we pushed the car over there, and then I don't hear from him. So I keep
when you
calling
say
him
push it over, what are we talking about? Like these industrial parks where guys rent these spaces with garage doors?
Exactly.
Okay, so you pull it out of one and bring it to the other. Now what?
So now the guy says he can do it. Push it over. We push it over. He doesn't call me back for a couple of weeks. I'm calling him, and he says, well, he's doing some kind of special test where they're being as thorough as possible, and that's why it's taken so long. And I said, okay, well, we want.
Well,
thorough,
did he give you a price for this engine?
Well, yeah. Eventually, yeah. He finally told me $2,500.
He can't do it. He can't do an engine for that. So anyway, so for $2,500, he's going to rebuild the engine for the Caddy SUV.
Exactly.
All right. So where do we stand? He's had it for a year. I mean, you're partially to blame.
My God, the special test took a year. How long is this rebuild going to take?
You should have put it on a hook and gotten it out of there. So I want to know, rather than going through each and every painful experience, I imagine you've been in touch over the year, right?
Oh boy, yeah. And they moved, and they didn't tell us.
Did you pay the guy? Did you pay the guy? We
paid him $1,800, and there was a $700 balance.
Okay, where does it stand today?
Well, today, it's
today.
We just keep getting the.
Where does it stand today?
I don't know, because we keep getting it'll be done this day. It'll be done that day.
You know what? We need to call them. You need to go get your car. This is ridiculous. I mean, doesn't it occur to you, Joe? Do you think they did anything? Did you go look at the car?
I did look at the car, and I seen that they did pull out the motor and they redid the heads, but then I think they put the heads on the wrong side, and so we've been stuck because I've been calling them ever since for an estimate, for a written estimate, and they keep giving me the runaround on that. So I felt like we were stuck.
Yeah, you are stuck, and I'm glad you called. Hold on. We really, there's no reason to talk anymore. What we need to do is call Cowboy Up and find out what's the delay.
Thank God for referral listing good shops. I mean, every single day we're getting these shops, man.
I know. Norm, what's happening, Norm?
Hey, Tom, first of all, I want to say thanks on behalf of the people of Denver, thanks for keeping the scumbags.
Thank you for thanking me, man. What's going on?
Hey, I'm looking to buy a house, and I want to sell my current house in order to do so, of course. And I want to know if you have any tips on what I can do to up value of
Call
my
Frank
house
Duran.
To get the most out of your house as far as value?
Yeah.
I'll tell you some general stuff, and then Frank Duran truly is a cool guy. Let me give you one example, one strategy. There was this one house. I'm going to give an example. This is what you call a composite example. Take a house, and the house, a guy says, I'm going to sell that for $385. And Frank Duran comes in and says, I wouldn't list it at $385. That's the top of the market. And if it doesn't sell, you may have to reduce that price, and that will show weakness. And if it stays on the market, days on the market shows weakness, and people start getting flighty saying, why hasn't it sold? Or why is he lowering the price? And then they come in even lower. So Frank says, I would ask $358. And the other realtor says, well, Frank Duran, you're nuts. If you go with Frank Duran, you're crazy. So they go with Frank Duran at $358, and it's priced so wonderfully that about 8 to 9 offers flood in the first week. 8 to 9 offers. So they do negotiating. And he starts negotiating with them. Bottom line, house sells for $398.
Wow.
So in other words, the $385, you would have been lowering the price in the beginning, and with the $358, you get to raise the price. Now, not always, but you could always just take it off the market if it's really bad. But here's the deal, okay? What I'm getting at is there's another guy, and he gets the house listing for $385. I'm giving you real-life examples, but not this exact thing. And he says, and she goes, well, I had to go with him, Frank, because I need to get more money. I need at least $370, right? So now, guess what? $385? Not many offers. And then they lower the price a little. And they get a few offers, can't close, because it's just a little high. So then they lower the price again. Finally, somebody comes in with an offer at $350. So guess what? They got less than they would have ever gotten had they listed it for $358. It's just amazing how that works with numbers.
He'll also be able to tell you, if you can get your bathroom done, for example, remodel for $3 or $4 grand, if it's worth doing it, if that's more of what this guy's question is. I mean, Frank knows.
No, we're going to talk about. I just wanted to bring up the title of a listing whore and say, don't go with someone who just tickles your ears and tells you they're going to get the most and they're going to put a real high price on it. That makes you feel good. They put up the yard sign and they don't care. They don't care. But when you have someone who cares, they're going to price that in order to fish out as many offers as possible and then have those people compete against each other. Okay, let's go to actually staging. First of all, this is an amazing thing you would think most people would know. There are 2 things, literally, that will destroy a home sale. A dirty house and a cluttered house. Even if it's a beautiful home. If it's dirty, it's an amazing turnoff. Now, you would think, well, I'll just have it clean when I move in. Now, there are people looking for bargains, and they figure, oh, yeah, we'll clean this, and they have vision, right? But even people with vision, if they're shown 3 houses, even people with vision will go with the one that looks the best at first. Okay, so you need to clean the hell out of that house, and when Frank lists a home, that's automatic, but you also have to declutter it. Declutter it. People have so much crap in their home. Shove it away somewhere where no one can see it. Don't put it on end tables and counters, and it makes the house look smaller when it's cluttered. So declutter and clean. 2 big things. And windows. When people are in a home with dirty windows, it gives a feeling of being closed in. Clean windows gives a feeling of sparkling new.
How about a horrible carpet? Like stained, nasty carpet.
Well, of course, that's part of cleaning. That's part of cleaning. But floor coverings are a big, big deal. You don't even have to do a lot of improvements. People can have vision, but they at least have to have clean windows, clean house, and decluttered to begin with, okay? And then the same with the outside. Make sure it's presentable. Landscaping is very important. And that's how, and then you go with a good real estate person, Norm, okay? Just be careful with everything, each step along the way. 303-713-8255. Okay, listen, Genesis Total Exteriors is available now for spring projects and summer projects. Get in now. He builds from the beginning all the way to the end, whether it be a major home improvement or a minor one, or anything outside, sidings, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks, roofs. That's Mark Szymanski, our friend here on referralist.com, GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
Okay, let's get these car questions. I'm interested with this Cadillac Escalade. 1 year, $2,500. He puts down $1,800, right? So is there an itemization on the receipt that isn't there by law? Small Motor Vehicle Repair Act, completion time?
Sure. He never got a contract estimate. Everything was verbal.
It's come on, he's dealing with Cowboy Up.
Well, of course, yeah.
He couldn't even find the shop for a while.
The guy just
He goes to look for his car, the whole shop's
The guy just said rebuild.
I have
He didn't
Cowboy
say
Up Automotive
what- I said, well,
on
that's
to
kind
tell
of
his
generic
side.
term.
Good! We
He's
had
a
a guy
really
come on
nice
one
guy,
time, and if you cracked the
but he
case,
only
you
has, I
rebuilt.
said we wouldn't hold
Get
it
him
more
right
than 5
away.
minutes.
And he said it on air.
A business.
Did you see the reviews for Cowboy Up?
No, were they just wonderful?
Good ones?
No.
All horrible.
So should we Cowboy down?
Can you bring some of them up? I mean, not you, it would be bad form for you.
Yeah,
Could you
just
bring up
Google
some
it,
of the
it's right
reviews?
there.
I seen the
reading, Mark.
Horrible. Man.
And his answer to most of them is, I can't find you in our history.
Right.
So.
The best is still the guy goes down there and they're gone. Didn't tell anybody they moved.
Absolutely.
Well,
He's never called him before, so why would he call him the time?
Imagine dropping your kid off at a daycare, you gotta pick him up and
It's gone.
It's gone.
If you were 30 to 75 years of age.
But they did move his car with the building.
Still the best though is Ouch. Cowboy Up's a stupid name, but Handyman, no, what was the one in the Springs? Oops Construction.
Oh, gosh. And Tom said it. I mean, what does Cowboy Up mean anyway? Get on that horse and ride it? No?
Now he's like,
milk that cow!
That's what exactly
Cowboy
means.
Up.
Suck it up.
Okay, right, right. That's
Suck it up.
That's it, right.
Be a
Quit
man.
complaining.
Be a man, exactly.
Right, quit complaining.
Everybody's
Suck him up.
So what's been? So that's what he tells his customers. Hey, Cowboy Up, quit complaining.
So what? It's been a year.
So what we moved? Yeah.
You found us?
What
We're still in the state.
I was
accreditations.
so pissed off at him.
That's what happens when you
I can't
rely
get a phone
on
call back.
monitoring your credit.
Oh, really?
You might detect credit changes, but you
Yeah,
don't
they came
necessarily
asking
like
for
a
their
cell phone account or
$1,000
loan in your name,
annual.
or that your personal
Yeah, how many
information
employees
is
you
available
have,
to
our
yourself.
time, yeah.
Red flag.
So,
Why not get a more complete story to help protect your identity? At LifeLock, we detect a range of identity threats. If you have a problem, one of our U.S.-based specialists will work to
I think
fix
at one time they
No
were
one can
useful.
prevent all identity
I
theft
think
or
before
monitor all
they came
transactions
out,
of businesses.
Who was?
But LifeLock
BB.
gives you more than you get for just
Still a lot of people, man, look at it.
Yeah.
Like Cowboy Up says, they're A-rated, I just checked it, which
Oh,
there's
God.
your whole deal.
Yeah, that answers it.
promo code.
They say they're A-rated.
LifeLock. LifeLock.
Yeah, but all you have to do is, if you reply to a complaint, you're
better
good.
than ever before, but some believe that taking hormones is unnatural. Michael Brown here.
Yeah, they should be calling in where they paid $30,000 for a roll.
Physician and an anti-aging specialist.
And
Says
got
nothing is
$6,000 done from a subcontractor, subcontractor not paid, lien on the house.
Oh my
But they
God.
were A plus on the
Our
BBB.
DNA really
What
hasn't
the hell,
changed.
$30,000 roof, that's a big roof.
They had an outside building too.
And
Ah.
where hormones weren't a problem. But today, we live into our 80s, 90s, and beyond. Hormone replacement is scientifically proven
But they
to
gave
improve
everything up
energy,
front.
appearance, sleep, mood,
Yeah.
and yes, even sex.
I hate when I look at a
Call Dr.
review
Jerry
and it's
Grossman
an
now at
ex-employee, you know.
Yeah, they shouldn't even be on there.
424.
Do they
say they're an ex-employee?
This one starts off, you know.
Yeah.
With Cowboy Up?
Yeah, if there was one that was an ex-employee.
Unless
those are all ex-employees.
What did he have to say?
Just that he didn't get paid, you know, as a joke and this and that.
Uses the soundboard just.
Yeah, what do
And when you do,
ex-employees say?
be sure and tell them Michael Brown sent you.
Did you get that email from American?
Yeah.
A lot of these reviews are, kind of sounds like damn music on the back. What'd you say?
Email from Gabriel.
Let me look. Which Gabriel?
American movies.
No.
Are you gonna call him, Mark? Kelly? Or Tom?
He's on the phone. Oh, he called in. Yeah.
Oh, Cowboy Up is on the phone? Oh, wow. I didn't know. I didn't hear it. Okay.
I got it. I'll reply to this.
His real name Cowboy.
Oh, there it is.
Brake pads and rotors and get up to a $50 rebate by mail. So don't confuse for anything other than new brakes and $50 back by mail. That's Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 5/31/17.
Whatever happens while you're at work today, you'll hear all about it this afternoon with Michael Brown, beginning at 4 on Talk Radio 630 KL.
Hi.
right, Tom Martino, your
Troubleshooter 303-713-TALK. Let's talk. Now, whenever we talk about something, we try to reach out to the business. I believe he called in on his own, Suzanne, or did you call him?
No, I called him.
Okay, good. We're always appreciative of business owners who want to give their side of the story. Here's what is going on. Joe said he took his daughter's vehicle, a Cadillac SUV, and it's been a year. So that alone is just weird. And he said he paid $1,800 and has really gotten nothing so far except the runaround. So we're going to ask John Eldridge, who identifies himself as the owner of Cowboy Up Automotive, to just talk about it. What's happening, John?
Yeah, so, well, to start out, the first 6 months was over at another shop that was next door to our old location. And then
so you didn't even have it for that first 6 months.
Yeah. And then we ourselves have had it because it's been in the shop for about a year and a half.
Oh.
It was over there for about 6 to 8 months, and then we've had it about 11 months.
Okay.
And I know according to the date because it was literally right before we moved locations, and we've been in our new location about 11 months.
But why so long?
So when we first got over here, we got it put on the schedule and got it brought in, tearing it down, all that. And then we were going to start putting it together, and we noticed that a head was damaged. So obviously that was something that we didn't foresee when we inspected it because it's got an engine cover on it, so we're not going to see that. So we told them, look, this is what's going on. We need to get a new head. So we tried to find a new head, and all of the heads were outside of the price they were looking in. So they asked to come get it. Finally, about a few weeks later, they came and picked the head up, took it, and took it to another shop. They did whatever. They probably replaced the head. And finally, about 2 months later, we get that head returned to us. So then that was all dead time right there.
Got it.
And then there were extra parts, obviously, stuff that wasn't foreseen when the diagnostic was done.
Okay.
We informed the customer of these parts that were damaged due to the recent repair that was done by the other shop. And
so what do you think the outlook is, John? You're giving pretty good explanations for a lot of that time, but what do you think the outlook is at this point?
I completely understand where he's coming from. He's been without a car for almost 2 years.
Right. So where do we go from here? What's going to happen now?
Well, at this point, he was informed that the repair would be completed on Wednesday or Thursday. And so when that happened, obviously we got in doing the repair and everything, got all our parts in, because we actually finished the job about a week ago, but there was an issue with it to where we had to pull it all back apart to determine exactly what was wrong. But then we told him, yeah, it should be done Wednesday or Thursday of this week. And then yesterday he called threatening one of my employees.
Okay, wait, right there. Wait. I've been listening patiently, and most of what you said is totally wrong, and I didn't threaten anybody.
Whoa, Joe. What do you mean most is totally wrong? I mean, he said it's been almost 2 years. He's acknowledging that. But did you take the head to have it repaired?
Yes. He said
okay, well, you never told us that, Joe. To be fair, you never mentioned that.
Okay, wait a minute, Tom. When you told me, I was getting ready to get into all of that. I was getting ready to give you a long description of what happened and all of that stuff, but you said, let's just get him on the
I understand,
phone.
but you could have said, I mean, there was plenty of time to say, part of that time I had the head getting it fixed.
Okay, and I did say that to your person on the phone when they called me, but I didn't feel like I got the chance to say that to you.
So right now, let's just talk about this, okay? Let's just forget about everything that happened. John, can you get his car fixed for the original price that you quoted of $2,500?
I don't remember what the exact amount was, and we had discussed the price, and I told him that what the difference was because of the other things that were being purchased.
Okay, so 1,800's already been paid. How much is he going to owe you when that car is put together, ready to drive away?
I believe it's right around like $400 or $500, something like that. That he's going to be paying out of his pocket.
We were going to split the difference on the 700. And
so, are you willing to still do this then, John?
Yeah, I had told him that that's what we were going to do.
Well, that sounds fine. If you're willing to do that, and there were even some extra parts involved, then I think that's fine. So
my daughter paid for all of the extra parts.
Oh, okay. In
addition to what they told us.
I understand. So when are we going to get it done, though?
Like I had told your sister, it should be done today. Yes, we did say it would be done Wednesday or Thursday, but
John, I'm not trying to cause you any harm.
You want to just get your SUV back.
After date after date for all of this time. I've had this date. Pick it up on this date. No, not this date. So it hasn't just been this one day that you gave me. I'm not trying to cause you harm. I just want my daughter's car back. That's all.
Yeah,
this is just the end of it.
We did say a little over a week ago that it was done, and then my tech was trying to get it started, found that there was other issues going on. And
what you told me was that your tech put the head on the wrong side.
Well, it is an 05.
When it was put together the first time, which was not our fault, when they put it together the first time, they mixed up the camshafts. And
no, that was your guy at the other shop that did that.
We don't really care at this point. I'm trying to get this thing done.
Either way.
Yeah. I think you guys came to an agreement. You're going to split the difference on the balance due. His daughter paid for the extra parts. And it's going to be fixed. Now, Mark, what do you want to weigh in on?
I must be the only guy going, how the hell do you have someone's vehicle for over a year?
Well, he had it 11 months.
Oh, I'm sorry, 11 months. Why don't you cowboy up and get it done?
He is. He says he is. So I don't understand. What I'd like to do is just check back with Joe in a few days to see if it's done. Now, I
think you're getting a little soft.
No.
A year, 11 months, excuse me.
It's terrible, but part of that 4
months of it was the customer.
Yeah, and they moved at one point. Mark, the guy doesn't even know where his car's at.
He did know where it was. The guy, I'm not soft on this guy. I think it's ridiculous, but okay, here's what he's saying.
What happens if it's not done tomorrow or today?
For 11 months, this guy has had the car. But part of that was because they were trying to find parts that Joe could afford or his daughter could afford. And Joe's not even disputing that.
So it's a match made in heaven is what you're saying.
I'm saying that it was a little bit of both. I can see why it was delayed. What I'm more concerned about is...
Kevin, when's the last time you had a car for 11 months?
Here's what I'm more concerned about. What I'm more concerned about is that they put it all together and had to take it all apart again, okay?
That's my point. The chances of this thing actually working in the next couple days. Lunch?
Well, no, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying we've come this far. What is the harm in waiting a couple days? Mark, we always get to this point where you think I'm soft and I say, what, are you kidding me? Here we have a guy saying it's going to be done. So what's the harm in waiting? There is no harm. There's no additional harm. It's been 11 months. Even if we literally wanted to sue this guy, it would take days and days and days.
Yeah.
So why bother going...
Let's see what happens.
Crazy. Let's just see. When I say that, Mark, I'm not betting it's going to get done. I'm saying, what harm would it do? So many times I wait and we get stung. Nothing is done. So,
what did you guys make of that conversation, Mark?
Well, like Tom said, having to take it apart again would concern me a little.
It's insane.
That's a big problem. Yeah, it's a big red flag.
But I also understand what Tom said. When the customer picks up their parts or components,
would you allow them to do that?
No, you wouldn't. No,
you're just asking. That's what you're just asking for all these issues.
I'd like to know what the other shop did wrong with it, though.
Michael, you have people showing up with their own glass to your body shop saying, install this?
That's what muddies the waters, and it makes it...
I think any shop that allows a customer to procure his own parts, they're asking for nothing but trouble. But these guys both, really, in essence, deserve each other, is what I mean, okay? He's probably getting a bargain. Who could do an engine for $2,500?
No.
I don't even know how he could do it.
And we're learning that they can't.
So, John, let me ask you this quickly. What exactly can you get done for $2,500? Can you rebuild an engine for $2,500? John?
No, we weren't doing a full engine rebuild.
Okay. Well, that answers it. You don't have to go into detail. Anyway, 303-713-8255. Century RV at 119. That's the Longmont turnoff in I-25 for new and used RVs. Steve Hata up there has all brands and travel trailers, fifth wheels, Class A's, Class B's, Class C's, motorhomes, and campers. If you want new or used, you can find them, plus a service department, 303-453-1111. Century RV.
I swear I saw a TV commercial on Century yesterday that they have a new place in Lakewood. Huge place.
Wow.
Steve? I think so, man. I'm looking on their website right now.
Crash is westbound 6th Avenue at Federal. The left lane is blocked. Backups easily to I-25. There's kind of a screwy setup as it is. Also look out for that. Southbound I-25 approaching 6. Looks like it's starting to ease up downtown. Crash on eastbound I-70 and 25. That's being cleared.
I guess it could have been
northbound side of Lincoln. I really thought it was here. The weather forecast could be sunny and mild.
This Subaru warranty for rust.
Skies in Mile High City.
That was negated, that rust warranty, right? Did they say? We didn't talk to them yet.
Figuring out how to cover college costs? Discover Student Loan is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country.
Causing a converter clutch, causing a voltage
Students get a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
Welcome to Car Audio.
How's Lakewood Auto Electric doing these days?
That guy is so busy, man.
Every time, I don't know, I didn't find him over there much anymore.
Oh, you mean personally?
Brian, yeah, he's got a good crew though.
Who's that?
Brian?
Lakewood Auto Electric.
Is he still working?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Look how Rolly's doing.
Well, you know, he's got those scanners that he's designed and developed for tracing battery shorts. Those things are cool.
Well, yeah, he invented that, right?
He did, yeah. He got two of them.
Oh, it works well, huh?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
It's a great diagnostic tool, right?
Well, it's great for verification. You know, if you think you have the short fix, you can run it on this machine. It may take an hour or two to do all its checks, and you just leave it and walk away from it. But if it passes, you have confidence that.
But does it find shorts?
No, it tells you there is a short. You know, in the system, you still have to be able to go into it and narrow it down.
But what about parasitic drag? Parasitic.
It's able to differentiate between ECMs
opening
and closing and dropping off. That's the great part about it.
This is the newest one.
Certain cars will take over an hour to do a test because it watches these parasitic drains tail off as it goes. It's pretty cool.
It's the one she sent in the email saying to replace, I think that was what I want.
When you bought it, was it all packaged and like a real deal?
Well, it's in a blow mold box. Yeah, the whole bit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great tool. What's the retail on it?
I think we paid $1,800.
$1,800.
Yeah.
Wow. But it saves time.
Yeah. Well, that and the tech doesn't have to stand there. You know what I mean? You just hook it up. Click it, you know, you go through a few steps and then walk away. And then you can see the light flashing or beeps or something at you 10 minutes or 2 hours later.
So it works good.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, you still need to know what you're doing. It's not where it'll flash up the screen and tell you to check one front headlight or something like that. But I mean, it's...
backgrounds, etc.
Yeah.
This Saturday at noon on 630 KHAL.
Yeah.
Our big thing is tracking down
to discover the necessary.
Oh, you cut through a body panel, nickel wire, you know,
I swear I saw a new ad for them on TV.
I cringe when I get a call in. Yeah, I had it at the body shop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How many, well, a lot of it too is, we just got done repairing, and the paint got fixed, so when we put the ground bolt back, we already dug the ground.
Well, the worst is the intermittent ground, the one that just kind of, yeah.
So it does all
3 weeks later.
Tracks all that down for you?
To a point. I mean, it's more draws against the voltage as opposed to ground. So I don't know if it would help with that or not. Brian would be one to talk to those.
Yeah, because we just spent 3 hours trucking out the oil issue.
What would you say, somebody said rebuild? Mark, what would you say, rebuild color?
You cracked the case.
Well, a rebuild is restoring, replacing the parts required.
I mean, you said rebuild engine. I would say rings, valves.
Top end.
Not necessarily valves.
Well, we got seat valves.
You're going to do a valve job, a 3-angle valve job. You're gonna replace the pistons and the rings.
Well, do you have to replace the piston?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you're rebuilding an engine, you're gonna replace the camshaft, new cam bearings, new rod bearings, new main bearings.
See, that's
You're gonna grind the camshaft.
Oil pump.
New oil pump, and, that'll do it. Now, if you have bad push rods or bad rocker or things like that, yeah, in order to rebuild it. But the definition of rebuild. What?
Do you bore?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're rebuilding an engine, yeah. You're going to replace the pistons and bore. But basically, rebuilding it would be replacing the parts required to restore it back to factory specifications, right?
Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. Car Day, Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. They got cars, trucks, SUVs, van. They did a new big acquisition for spring. So you're going to love these price ranges. They have some, many of them under 10 grand for sure, and some of them in the $4,000 to $5,000 range. And then, of course, they go all the way up to whatever. But the important thing is the money you save, because you know, on these used cars, they're clean. Some of them are 2016s, 15s, 14s. They have vans. They have all kinds of colors, pickup trucks, sedans. And they have 40 lenders to choose from, so you're never gonna be disappointed when it comes to financing. I mean, of course, I imagine there's some people that can't get financed, but these guys, I'll tell you what, if you can get financed, they'll do it. And there's 40 of them to choose from, so all of the loans are done right there, and it's approved before you leave. 303-426-4646, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. 303-713-TALK. Let's talk. Ed's got a rust warranty problem, and he sent us some pictures. Ed?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hey, man. You know, I often wondered about rust warranties. First of all, are they transferable? That's the first question I have. I don't think they are, right? From owner to owner. But it depends on the warranty. Does anyone know about rust? Let's ask our body guy. Do you know about rust warranties?
It varies from manufacturer to manufacturer, so it's...
Have you ever fixed anything under warranty?
For a manufacturer, no.
Okay. No. So, Ed, how long have you had this car?
I purchased it brand new in October of 2012.
And how long is the rust warranty?
It is a 5-year warranty.
When does it run out?
In October of 2017 of this year.
So what's the issue? It's rusting, right?
Yes.
What do they say about it?
It just simply doesn't fall under the guidelines of their warranty.
Wait, they say it doesn't fall under the guidelines?
Correct. They say it has to be it's a, quote, perforation warranty, and it has to go all the way through in order to qualify.
Not surface rust.
Right.
Interesting. Well, if that's what it is, why the conversation? Unless you think they're lying to you or what? What's happening here?
Well, I think that I've got 6 rust spots total, all occurring on welded seams throughout the car. And I think that it's just a defect in the welds, that they're not properly sealed.
No, that's not
right. Or
right.
not allowing moisture to evaporate.
That's not why.
Michael, can you look at something like that and tell if it's a defect?
No, that's not. Well, okay.
I sent pictures to everybody.
Oh, well.
I've got the pictures up in front of me, and
what do you think? I'll tell you my thought, but go ahead. What do you think?
It's a seam seal issue.
They always rust faster. Seams always, because of the differential metals and possibly electrolytic activity. They always do, but that doesn't mean it's acceptable.
Has there been any repairs done to that door?
No, none at all.
So, what do you think usually causes this? Because welded seams do rust faster in many cases. Why, guys? Anybody know?
Did you ask where he lives?
Where do you live, sir?
I live in Castleton-on-Hudson, New York.
Okay. Well, guess what? That shouldn't be an excuse. I mean, the warranty is a warranty. Suzanne, I mean, they don't, unless it specifically excludes places, that shouldn't be the issue. I think that if it's a perforation warranty, it's a lot different than what you have. I mean, it says right here, rust perforation. It literally says this, coverage, rust perforation coverage. I know this sounds terrible, but that's what it is. It's rust perforation. I mean, when I say it sounds terrible, it sounds like maybe they're trying to get out of it, but I don't think so.
Okay. It's fair enough.
I mean, what I would say is that is easy to take care of, so it doesn't become an issue. Now, what I would do, there's stuff. Okay, I'm going to ask our body guy. What would you do for that?
We just reseal the where the joint is at. It's basically an automotive grade quote unquote caulking.
Okay, here's what I would say. Okay, to stop that corrosion, the only industry that knows how to do that, there's an aircraft lubricant that you can spray on that would kill that corrosion immediately, and then you seal it. And that's the only way. And I would go to Aircraft Spruce. It's online, and I would buy that stuff, and it's the best stuff in the world, and I don't know why automobile people don't use it. We got more coming up.
This stuff, if you had your car, so you had something submersed in water, and you're wondering, they go in and spray this on the inside, like with a wand. It kills corrosion.
Does it just take the rust right off?
No, it stops
oxidation.
Stops it completely. Stops it like.
So the reason why steam is rust.
Now it can reoxidize, but not there long. It has to be new.
Yeah, the reason why steam is rust, you have two different kinds of metal. You got the two metals that are being joined, and then you got the weld one.
Right,
So you got two
different. It's electrolytic. It's
straightforward. Air pockets in it too when you weld it.
It could be, it could be too, but mainly it's that you have water, two different kinds of metal, you have a little battery there.
He's got a vertical seam.
A what?
A vertical seam. The seam's phasing up. The water is just sitting inside of it. And being in New York.
God.
Yeah, because the caulking will last forever. Yeah.
This is Denver's talk station. More with Martino after the news.
They're all over the internet. Well, you're joint.
NBC News Radio.
They say what you could do is caulk it. That's what you said.
You
gotta stop it.
Well, you got to stop it, yeah, because it'll just keep growing.
You know, what works really good, other than what Thomas mentioned, the aviation stuff, I'm sure is a lot better than the automotive grade stuff, but it's that rust more.
What's that?
Have you ever used that?
It could be the same thing. Of it.
Yeah, so you can just put it on with a paintbrush.
Maybe it's the same thing.
And it reverses the oxidation.
Couldn't that be the same thing?
It actually turns rust into steel.
Well, then maybe that's what I'm talking about. I don't know.
It's called rust more. Then you can primer it.
What I'm saying is they could have their own version. I mean, I don't know what the science name is, but that's probably a brand, and the one in aviation has a brand, right? They probably
this liquid, it's like a real thick brown liquid.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Okay. You know what? They just packaged it for aviation.
Yeah, real good stuff.
Rust more.
Mort. M-O-R-T.
Tell this guy we have more information if he wants to hold on for.
After the state Supreme Court
It reverses the oxidation process.
It literally, what do you mean it turns it to metal?
It turns the oxidation that's on the surface into metal. It
reconstitutes it?
Yes.
And then what do you, brush it off, or what do you do?
You just let it dry. You let it dry, then you primer over it.
Honest
and then then you
knew
prep.
about that too? Why didn't you guys mention that?
He hung up till he called back.
Well, yeah, you can tell me about a good break.
Hey there, from a rainy and messy church.
Converts heavy rust into stable.
Okay, yeah, it's blue. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's right. It's that's right.
Was the big deal with the
It's an aqua, right.
The problem is, he's already too far gone at this point. The door is actually cracked.
Is it really?
Yeah, it needs to be welded.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what are they talking about perforation?
It is simply a Band-Aid at this point. The door needs to be replaced.
What show it is.
Well, what is he talking about on the warranty of perforation warranty?
That means, well, I thought about that too. It means a hole through the metal.
Well, I mean, isn't that a perforation?
It's not. I mean, it's not through the other side of the car, is it?
So he's got to let the door fall apart
Yeah,
before they'll...
well, by that time, it's out of warranty.
Wildlife wants to remind you that there are 41 fabulous state parks to explore throughout the state. Book your state park campsite.
What year car was it? I didn't hear.
12.
Unforgettable summer vacation memories. Find Colorado Parks and Wildlife opportunities online.
Of course.
And now the rail does is, I mean, that's why they're throwing they're bagging all the parts. Rail does.
I always say, hey, I hope you don't need them. Joe Lazara is a defense attorney.
A criminal defense attorney.
No, that just runs right across and down.
Something you need them.
And that's behind the door panel?
Yeah, so that's,
So you get the, oh, I guess.
right there at that point. And that's a big part of the door.
I'm not going to ask questions.
Yeah, because it's, exactly. So probably the flexing and everything going on it, yeah.
Do it without legal representation. Joseph A. Lazara is someone we highly recommend. Of course, we also recommend you stay out of trouble too. But Joe Lazara can help you when it comes to
Yeah,
blue
with most
eyes.
of the
You
words,
have
so it's just-
so many
it's
things to
verbiage.
think about.
It's all,
Specific
they've got an
and
alphabet
patient to worry about. He can handle both with you and help you through the system. Joseph A. Lazara. LazaraLegal.com. That's L-A-Z-Z-A-R-A. LazaraLegal.com. Also on my referral list at referralist.com. He'll always do initial consultations complimentary. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200.
The Bell and Pollock Legal Show. What is it? A law talk show. For years, the Bell and Pollock injury attorneys have dedicated this show to you to answer your legal questions on any legal subject. Call the Law Talk Legal Show and talk to Bell and Pollock. Saturday mornings, 7 o'clock, Talk Radio 630. KHOW will help you.
Do you have glaucoma or high eye pressure? Are your daily eye drops interrupting your life? The doctors are conducting a clinical research study of an investigational dropless therapy. And
So is the aviation stuff like that, Tom? I said it was brown. I was mistaken. It's an aqua blue.
This is
liquid.
called something like X something.
Right, but is it like an aqua blue liquid? What color
I
is
don't
it?
recall the color, but it's a thickish. That's when you said that.
Throughout the study, no insurance
So,
is needed.
Yeah, I think they make several different kinds. Maybe one of them is the aqua blue, the other one is brown.
U-Pole makes a black one.
Okay, right. Got it.
They all have their
Study.com.
secret sauce.
That's 843 My Eyes or EYECARE.
Yeah, you don't want to be getting that stuff on your hands. Let's put it that way. It's
real
acidic.
Yeah.
Participation is at no cost, and compensation for time and travel
It smells
may be
nasty,
for
too.
qualified participants. Visit iCareStudy.com or call 844-3-MY-EYES.
But all you gotta do is hold it off, put it on, hold it off.
You brush it off.
You brush it off.
And then you can paint over it, whatever.
Then paint over it.
Yeah.
Well, there's some that you can paint right over.
So,
There's
what
others
is it
that
called,
you have to
guys?
primer first, then paint.
U-Pole makes one, Rust Mort.
Rust Mort, M-R-T.
Yep.
Wow, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
The problem
I put a lot of cars together using that stuff, especially on the drip rail scenes.
Yeah.
That STP. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's got a valid
You got low oil pressure.
Blasting up
STP.
the new brakes and $50 back by mail.
Rust Mort.
Napa know-how.
An acidic compound that converts existing rust into insoluble black coating.
Yeah, turns it black. Yeah.
Go to advancedtaxsolutions.com.
Then you can paint right over it. Yeah.
Wow, no more sanding bullshit.
Yeah.
How much does it penetrate?
Yeah, really, that's good question. Well, it will penetrate the rust. Anything that's not rust, it will not penetrate. It will get into the porous of the rust.
Wonderful stuff, man.
Yeah, oh, it's amazing, actually, and if you don't prepare the surface real good, and you leave scales of rust on it, and after everything dries, I mean, it's amazing.
And there's another thing we use. The inside of every airframe is zinc chromated, and it never rusts. You know, Z-Part used to do all that thick black tar shit.
Oh, right.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Okay, listen, we got a lot going on. It's Car Day. Welcome to the show. I'm going to get to all of your calls. Of course, we'll talk about more than just cars as we solve problems each and every day, recovering millions of dollars for you. And I hope you're entertained along the way. Yeah, we got Budget A1 Transmission Auto Repair. We got Sheridan Auto Tech. And our body shop, Mike's, new member on the referral list. Well, relatively. Michael's Auto Body in Castle Rock. And also, we're talking to you, Ed. Ed called from New York, and he's saying, I have a rust problem on my Subaru. I have a 5-year rust guarantee from the manufacturer, but they call it a rust perforation warranty. But we found out some other information. Ed, first and foremost, I got to tell you something.
Yes.
According to our body expert here, he said part of that is perforated. It's going right through the door.
Well, yes, it does. And it's actually two pieces of metal sandwiched together, and the inner portion is perforated.
So why do they say it's not?
I couldn't tell you. I've brought it to their attention multiple times, and...
Well, listen, did you actually take it to another dealer and try? Because really, that one door is perforated. But here's the good news. The stuff I was talking about for aviation, I guess they do make automotive equivalents. They do. It just kills the rust on contact. You can literally paint and seal over it. In your case, cosmetically, you might want to have it touched up, but then you would caulk it, too, to keep the moisture out of that door where that little thing is. But it's called Rust Mort. 2 words.
Mort.
Yeah, you can do it. You can apply it. It's easy. You brush it on, it'll kill it dead. So at least it won't keep rotting. R-U-S-T, rust, 2 words, rust, and then mort, M-O-R-T. And what, Mark, explain it, Mark, you've used it.
It's really neat stuff. It reverses the oxidation process and turns the oxidation into steel. I've used it on a lot of cars that we put together. You know, there's some kinds of rust mort that you have to prepare the surface before putting primer on it. There's other forms of rust mort that you can just put primer over it. But before you put any rust mort on any steel, you want to take a wire brush and clean that surface up as best as you can.
But you don't have to sand it all down.
No, you don't have to. Just a good wire brush, preferably on an electric drill. And then you primer over it. Then you do your body seam sealer, like the gentleman was saying here that's with us, and then you can paint right over it. But it will reverse the oxidation process. That rust mort will reverse all of that. It's great stuff.
Yeah, and so you won't have to worry about it. That's good stuff. And is that the kind of thing that is that the what does? Yeah, I'm going to ask Ed. He's back east. Ed, where on the Hudson are you?
I'm about 20 miles northeast of Albany.
Oh, you're up north there. Okay. You know, because that's a beautiful area too. But
it is.
Don't they still have Z-Barts up there? Z-Bart, those rust people. They don't have they don't have them out here because we don't need them. But
yes, and they do.
What do they coat with? Do they coat? Is it this kind of stuff they coat with? What do they do? They use some
more
tar.
Like a tar, yeah. It's nothing.
To me, it's a ridiculous why wouldn't they use just a rust mort? I mean, because that wouldn't rot, would it? Or does it after it?
Well, here's the thing on the Z-Bar, Tom. If when the car is brand new, you put it on, you're good to go. After you, especially in New York, where we're from, you drive that car for a year, you got all that salt, then you spray that stuff over it, just peels right off. It doesn't last at all.
Yeah. So anyway, Ed, thank you very much. You know, WGY Radio, you know that station up there?
Yes, yes.
That was my very first radio station, sir.
Wow. I know it.
Yep.
Right in Hudson.
Yep. Well, Hudson, too. That was my second. I actually started at a bigger station, WGY. I was doing when I was working on Channel 6 TV, and then went to WHUC in Hudson. Right. So, good to hear from you back home. Okay, 303-713-8255. Jason, what's going on with you, Jason? What's happening? Jason? Yeah, man, what's going on?
Well, this question isn't directed so much towards me, but my son-in-law.
Okay.
What we've got is he was going to Murray State College in Kentucky, and I don't know if you can help me with this or not.
We probably can.
But he kind of went off kind of half-blooded about the whole situation. He didn't get a student loan or anything. He just kind of went to college.
Okay.
Long story short is they kicked him out because of non-payment. And now he's living in Colorado.
So he got kicked out of school, but he never paid.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Correct. So, long story short, to keep it nice and simple, is
what does he owe?
Now he's through. Right now he owes $10,500.
Okay, and since he got the benefit of that education, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I mean, he owes the money. There's no dispute in that. Since then, he's moved to Colorado with me and my wife, and has been living with me and my wife to pay off his debt to go to the college.
All right.
And it's through a collection company called Enterprise Collections.
Yeah.
And I've actually kind of
So what are you trying to do? Settle the debt?
Settle the debt is what we're trying to do, but he's been paying since January $200 biweekly to this company. He's up to about $3,000 that he's paid to the company, and all they've taken off the principal was about $900.
Well, wait a minute. They're not allowed to just amortize that debt and throw an interest rate on there without some kind of an agreement. They can't just arbitrarily do that.
Exactly. So they've got an interest.
Well, how did they come up with that? But how did they come up with that? How did they come up with that amortization schedule that only took off a few $100?
They said they agreed with the interest rate with him.
Oh.
And failed to mention a $2,100 fee every month that they apply towards.
Wait.
Exactly.
Wait, $2,100 every month?
And that's being nice about it.
No, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Are you telling me the collectors charge $2,100 every single month or the first month?
Yeah, this month when I got the bill, because usually he just gets the bill and he doesn't open them, he just pays them thinking it's getting paid off. I actually opened up the bill and I was kind of vexed.
Okay, so no, you got to send that to me. So what does the bill say? It says payment is this and fee is $2,100?
Right, it says payment, like I think I'll have to look exactly at the bill, but the payment this month was $853 that he applied towards the payment. They took off $160 for interest and then applied a $2,158 $100 fee.
No, this doesn't make sense. I don't even understand what you're saying. He paid if they applied $2,100 a month and he's paying $853, the loan balance would be going up, not down.
Exactly, and it's doing exactly that.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You said they took a few $100s off. It would never go down, ever.
Yeah, but his loan started at $11,500. He's now down to, I think it's $10,000.
Well, it wouldn't go down to anything, sir. Use your imagination here. Take $2,100 every single month, right? Every month, and he's paying $800. So you're telling me that at the end of a month they add $1,300 to his loan?
Right. So
if they add $1,300 to his loan, that it's never going to go down, not by a penny. So the fact that it went down tells me you don't understand it. There's something you're not telling me. You're telling me that on that statement it says $853 payment and $2,100 fee.
Correct.
Every single month.
Correct.
I don't believe you.
Just send one.
I don't believe you. I'm sorry, I can't believe you, because here's why. If that was the case, then the loan balance would be going up $1,300 every single month. Is it going, excuse me, even more? Yeah, 13. Does it go up $1,300 every month?
I'll have to send you the statement, because the way it's set out is it went down to $8,000 after his payments, and after they applied the fee and take out the interest, it jumps it back up to $10,500.
But that's only $2,000. That's only $2,000 one time. You told me they're applying a $2,100 fee every single month.
Correct.
Okay. Do you understand what you're saying? Jason, I know truly you're not stupid. I can just tell. I can tell you're not stupid, because you're carrying on a conversation. If you were this stupid, you couldn't do that, because you aren't listening. Do the math. $2,100 every single month. It just doesn't.
Be climbing and climbing.
But you're telling me it went down to $8,000 and then it went back up to $10,000. So they might have applied a $2,000 fee once, but you're telling me in the same breath they apply it every single month.
Yeah, and from what I'm reading, every month since January, there's this fee that's taxed.
Okay, so January, February, March, April, May. That's 5 months, right? So now that's $10,000 just in fees. You're telling me if that was $10,000 just in fees, then his balance would be $20,000. But you're telling me it's $10,000. So what you're saying doesn't make sense, Jason.
Right, right, exactly. It doesn't make sense, but what I'm getting at is exactly what you said. It's about $20,000 after his interest and everything. See what I'm saying? So it never moves. It actually goes up.
Okay. I don't understand. I'm throwing my hands up. So you tell me, Mark.
We just got to look at it.
No. You guys are in the studio.
We
What
have
are you
to look at it, and then I need to retract it. I said you're getting soft.
Okay. No.
Evidently, definitely not.
But Mark, listen to this and tell me what you think he's saying. Tell me.
I think ultimately after everything, the balance could be around $20,000, but it is going down each month. There's no way it's going up each month. There's no possible way.
So they're not charging $2,100 every month. That's unconscionable.
Well, they couldn't do that.
No, they couldn't do that. But he says they are.
Well,
2001.
we know they're not.
First of all, you can, because the loan was only 10 grand. You can't charge that much interest every single month. Let me tell you how much interest that would be. 2,100 times 12 would be $25,200 on a $10,000 loan. So that would be 200 and some 50% interest. Is that what you're saying? He's paying 250% interest.
I think there's a few laws.
Jason, you're saying yes, he is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just send it.
All right.
Just send it.
You know
No,
what?
let's look at it.
You know what? When people exaggerate like this to try to get us interested, it's almost counterproductive, because it makes me not want to deal with it. Because if they're lying about it, because that's just plain crap. There is no way that they are charging 250% or more. It's actually more than that. So he's saying that, well, no, it's about 250% interest. 250%.
We know it's impossible.
So why is he keeps saying it's happening?
Because he really thinks it is.
Yeah. Okay. He really thinks it is. Well, Jason, guess what? It's not.
I'm going to get into the lending business if that's correct.
I just can't freaking believe it. And he keeps saying it over and over and over again. Over and over.
Dan just said he might have just hit it. Maybe it's Vinny trying to collect this. This might be a whole mob debt.
Suzanne, I need to get a copy of that statement.
He's going to do it here in just a minute.
Okay.
So I'm going to hold him over.
And tell him if he's being charged 250% interest, I'll pay the loan. We got more coming up.
For that one guy. I got to tell you, that was Del Frisco's. That sucked.
You're coming out easy on this.
I knew. It cost me $700 when I told some guy I'd do something like that.
So I got a question. If this is the college that's charging him?
It's a collection agency.
Can you put Gabriel American
and
Moving
it's not
on Tom's
the
calendar,
student loan?
9
He
a.m.
could go
Friday,
bankrupt,
next
man,
Friday.
and wipe it clean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not a student loan.
So he could go bankrupt on this and wipe it clean then, because it's not a student
But
loan.
still, if he's paying $800 a month, that should be almost
If they're
done.
charging that kind of interest rate and stuff.
Yeah, but
They
why would
can't charge
I
that kind of
know.
interest rate.
Well, why would he agree to pay
250%.
Your bill goes up every day. You pay $1, you owe $2.50.
Never be paid off. At the end of 5 years, you owe 10 times more.
Well, that is a Vinny thing.
Vinny
They
Yeah.
call that
Yeah.
loan shark.
The guy, by the way, we're talking about his bookie.
Well, that's it. You don't call it you call it big.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
gotta pay
that's
big.
right. This
Yeah.
is the big. He's been playing the numbers too long. And he's
just,
into Vinny Barbarino for, 20 grand.
and they just cut his foot off.
What's it, The Godfather, where they put the horse head in the bed? That is
I got a
unbelievable.
question for all you guys, but I'm trying to remember the name of the place. I was on Colorado Boulevard, and on Colorado Boulevard, there's a whole string of businesses. They're all real close together. But one restaurant is in there, or two restaurants in there. There's a barber shop in there too. They sell Egyptian food or Mongolian food. You know that place you're talking about?
Limited space is available. Call or visit today.
Oh, wait, John.
Is
Is it good?
Then compensation for time and
Yeah, it
travel
was decent, but I had some issues.
Say it again. I'm sorry, Mark. I didn't hear you.
It's on Colorado Boulevard.
What is it?
It's like an Egyptian,
Oh, God.
Mid-Eastern
I
kind of
never would eat there. So
Yeah.
I went into that grocery store near you one time. Man.
Over on Havana?
That's a whole
That's an
different
instant
experience.
trip, isn't it? Yeah.
What kind of a grocery store is it?
It's an African, Middle Eastern.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
They even have stuff like
So
rugs
now
and
that Tom's
bowls.
back, let me ask. So I parked into this place to eat. There's about 5 or 6 businesses all together on Colorado Boulevard. I don't remember the name of this restaurant that I went to by myself. It's like an Egyptian, kind of like Mongolian Egyptian food. So guys,
Colorado Boulevard?
What's that? Yeah.
South of Evans?
Yes.
On the left hand, on the east side.
Yes.
Yeah, I know where it is. I go there.
So I parked there, and the guy said, "You can't park here." Maybe we're not talking about the right spot. I said, "Well, I'm going to eat dinner over here, but the parking's so limited."
Yeah, they're in a plaza.
Right. He says, "Well, you can't park here." I said, "Why is that?" Because this is our parking for our customers.
Doesn't say that.
I said, "You have a sign out here that says that," because I'm looking around. I said, "But you don't own this property." He said, "Well, we own the business." I said, "I understand that, but this is public parking. Anyone can park here."
Well, it's
So
not
what
public.
happened?
It belongs to the building.
Right.
So the landlord could designate parking spots.
Sure. So I had to move to another spot. I said, you can't park there. That parking is for this business.
But does it say that? Does it say parking for this business or parking?
Yes, it kind of, yeah, it did with the other business too. And
The landlord can do that, can designate
They
parking.
can?
It was the very same parking
They can't
space
ticket
that
you for
started it.
So I said,
They can't ticket you for that.
well, they said they'll tow the vehicle away.
Well, they can tow it, and you could fight it, right? It would be a pain in the ass.
Oh, you don't want to play the tow company.
Did they have the tow?
And they towed it to the very same street that
Violators
started
will
it.
be towed?
Yes. So then I said, well, whose vehicle is this?
It's called
It's at the
Marrakesh.
barber shop.
It's called Marrakesh.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah. I said, well, whose vehicle is this in front of the barber shop? He said, well, that's the owner. I said, are you kidding me? I said, you mean to tell me the owner is not going to allow his customers to park up front of their building, so the owner can't park down here at the other end of the parking lot and leave these spots reserved for his customers? If this was my business, I certainly would. So I'm going in there. So I walk in there, a bunch of Middle Easterners. About 7 of them. And I'm like, oh, God.
Did they?
So I said, who's the owner here?
He's like, I'll move. I don't want any trouble.
And then, I said, who's the owner here? I said, you need to tell me you're parking somewhere in Texas.
The 200 you'll receive a standard message and battery supply.
You park there, I blow up.
How far do you want to take this, Mark?
Anyway, he didn't like what I had to say.
All right, this is day 2 after I had my stem cell shots. Now, Mark, you might think it's psychological, but there was one movement I made. I'm not going to get into detail.
I saw you skipping in the hallway.
There was one movement I made that usually invokes a little bit, tiny bit of a twinge that wasn't there. So to be careful, I said this could be just, I'm hoping. So I did it again, and sure enough, there wasn't that little soreness. But then I'm going to tell you what could be. As part of this stem cell therapy I had by Stem Cell Institute of America, as part of the therapy, they said you can't work out for 2 weeks. They don't, no heavy activity. So maybe when I would have worked out, because every other day I seem to be sore from working out. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I had 2 knees done, not because I had problems in the knees. It's more preventative. They wanted to show me on an MRI how it will literally increase the joint space. And then my shoulder, because I do have a little, tiny bit of an impingement on my shoulder, and my low back just because of general soreness. So anyway, and here's what I want to tell you about that, is that they never ask you to make an appointment straight up and go in and have it done. They want you to get all of your information, and that's why they have these seminars. And I'm telling you, they have them all over, like the Tech Center in Littleton, Boulder, Denver, and you'll learn really everything you need to know. So this could be life-changing for you. Now that Stem Cell Institute of America is here in town and they have affiliated physicians you can find out about, just give them a call, 855-262-4040, 855-262-4040.
I couldn't even figure out why someone wouldn't get more information if they're in pain.
No, just to go, right, because it's for all joint pain and arthritis. And stem cells, they still don't know. I say they, the medical community, the researchers don't know why it works. It's just they're building block cells. So wherever they go, they build where they go. So if they go to a shoulder, they'll build ligaments there. They go to the knee, they'll build there. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I don't know as much about it as I do a lot of health things. I just know that it's like hocus pocus almost. I mean, everybody is doing it and having remarkable results. I've had no results yet that I can absolutely say it's working, but in any case, I think it's worth a try, right? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, this debt I'm not going to talk about until we get the statements now, because I think he's just misreading it. But the bottom line is this. Whatever is owed, and you know, if it's being financed, the point I wanted to make is that he had to agree to the financing. So I just want to ask one question of Jason. Do you have the original agreement? You said he agreed to an interest rate. Do you have that original agreement, Jason?
I don't. No,
Okay,
I don't.
does he have it?
He's a 20-year-old kid, so I doubt it.
Okay. You said a 20-year-old kid.
Yes.
He signed a. That's right, 20. He's not a mine. Never mind. Okay, so just get me this statement, and then we'll see what we can do to help.
Tom,
303.
should be in your email. I printed them, but they're going to be too hard to read in a print, so you might want to check your email. Mark, you too.
I have. Why is this so dang dim? It's dim. I don't know. It's okay. It's the way it was scanned, I guess.
The entire contract, small print.
No, I'm zooming in, but it's just. So here's. Okay, I'm just looking. So it's 160 plus 42. 200, 200. It says fee $2,102. So it says at total due as of 4/22/2017, $8,000. The interest will accrue on the liability amount.
Tom, from 4/9 to 4/22, it did go up.
Let's see. Hold on. 4/9. I'm looking at the statements from. Okay, so hold on. I'm just trying to get here. 4/9. I'm just trying to look here.
Might be getting this loan paid off.
This. I'm just looking at this monthly thing, the monthly statement. No, it's the same statement he showed me. So it says a 25% enterprise cost of collection fee of $2,300 has been added to the liability and is included in the total due amount.
So it's a one-time fee.
Interest began to accrue on 12/16/2016. The current rate will continue to accrue until the preferred liability is paid in full. Online payment options are available. Yeah, the fee was one time. It's not. Why would he say it's a monthly fee? I mean, that's what it clearly shows his monthly statement.
So it's a one-time fee, but yet they tack the interest onto the principal and that one-time fee.
Well, here's what it says: the credit card payment he made. Okay, it shows the payment, and then the fee is $40. Okay, so it's 160 plus 40, so that's 200. 160 plus 40, 200. These are credit card payments. 160 for principal, $40 to the fee. It's 160 to 40 every single month. It's not, and then it said a refunded offset. I don't know what that means. Then it says a credit card payment, $160 plus $40 for 200. So it just keeps going. And then it's total of as of 4/22. They must have requested a payoff or something, because there was a request of a payoff or something. Jim, why did they generate this special statement? This was not a regular monthly statement. It seems to be a history. Did you ask for a history of the loan?
Again, it's not my loan, so I'm kind of trying to figure this out myself. So I might kind of sound dumb, but
yeah. No, you don't sound dumb. You sounded confused.
3 times a month.
You sounded confused. I specifically said you did not sound stupid. Here's what I think. Here's what's happening. Did somebody ask for something because you got a total here, and here's what they're doing. Okay, it's a one-time fee. They're not adding it every single time. They're not adding. You can clearly see they're not adding. They're adding $40 a month. Do you see that? Do you see the $40 fee every month, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what they're adding, $40. And then it says a 25% enterprise cost of collection fee has been added to the liability. That's a one-time fee total. That's the fee. So every time you ask for the balance due, it'll be whatever you paid plus the $2,000. It's not going to be an extra $2,000 every month. So that the only reason,
it's almost like a loan origination fee.
It's just a one-time fee. But here's the point: they can't do it unless they have his agreement to this. They can't just arbitrarily enter into a finance agreement. So, Jason, what I would do is ask these people at Enterprise Collections, Department of Revenue, in Frankfort, Kentucky. There's the phone number. Ask them for the agreement he signed. Say, where did you come up with a finance agreement? Finance agreements under federal law have to be agreed to with terms and conditions and truth in lending.
He said he assumed his kid signed it, though.
Well, okay, so, but ask for it. Just
They
ask.
charge an interest on the $2,100 every month?
Yes.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm positive.
No.
Here's what they do. They give you the balance due and then add the $2,100.
Got it.
You can say it. It's $40.
So there is no more interest. It's like a loan origination.
No, there is more. There's interest of $40 a month.
Got it.
And then, go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. So what ultimately makes me all vexed about the situation, like I said, I just kind of walked into it, so I'm kind of trying my Neanderthal accounting skills here, is since December he's been paying, and you can see on those statements, religiously every bi-weekly about $200 is about the average, 180, 160 here and there.
I understand that. Go ahead. What is your question?
And since December, and I called Enterprise this morning. I said, "What's going on here?" And they said, I was like, "What's the payoff as of this second right now?" And they tell me, $10,500. So since December, he's been making these payments bi-weekly, but he's only dropped $1,000.
No.
I mean, what do I do right now? I'm not
listen carefully. It went down to $8,000, okay? It went down to $8,700 and something. Then they added $2,000 to it. When it goes down to $6,000, they're going to add $2,000 to it. When it goes down to $4,000, they're going to add $2,000 to it. It'll always be $2,100 more. It's not $2,100 every month. When he pays off the entire balance and interest, he will still owe $2,156. It's just so easy to read. It's a one-time enter. I just want to know why and how they have the authority to do it. Your question to them is, where is the agreement that allows you to do this? Please send it to us. That's it. Or if they don't give it, then sue them in small claims court for everything your son has paid. I mean, for everything he's paid in extra costs.
I like how you didn't specifically call him stupid.
No, he wasn't. I said, you do not sound stupid, but I am sure you are confused. I mean, he didn't sound stupid, but this sounded, because I said you could not be this stupid to believe that anyone could pay $2,000 a month in fees and have the loan, and the loan balance is not $20,000. So I don't even know where Jason got that. Jason, the loan balance isn't $20,000. Where did you get that hogwash from?
No, I'm not saying it is $20,000.
No, you did. You said that. You said it went. You said yes, it did go to $20,000. It did not go to $20,000. And Suzanne said the balance went up. It did not go up.
I misread it.
Okay, so the balance is going down every single month. But when you ask for a payoff, they give you the balance plus add that $2,000 fee. Enough is enough. Ask him for the details, and if you need help, call us back. 303-713-TALK.
That balance has been going down every single month. Every single month. Yeah, think about that.
Not only interest, but
that's an expensive
$2,100.
$10,000.
He's paying $40 a month interest on the loan, plus another $2,100 after it gets paid
Well,
off.
they charging him $40 because it's a credit card payment, or is that a fee?
Maybe he filed bankruptcy. Maybe he's high risk.
He should file bankruptcy.
Maybe he's high risk. It's a high risk loan.
It wasn't a student loan. He filed bankruptcy.
We talked about that.
Yeah, but he might owe too much. I mean, he might have too much.
He's 20 years old.
20 years old.
Living in the basement. Yeah.
Why?
I did. I told Mark.
It's not a student loan.
We just thought of that, yeah.
Unless, I wonder if school debts are not allowed. I wonder if they're
student
disallowed.
loan. No, this is a.
Mark, did you put it on the calendar, Mark?
Friday, yes.
How you did? Thank you.
I had it on the calendar for Monday.
Well, I know, but I have a meeting Monday with
Well, then you should have put that on the calendar.
Well, you heard me talking to him right before I came up on
I
the
didn't know
show.
what Monday you were talking about. Do you guys like Southwest Airlines?
I love them. I love them.
Do you?
They're the best.
You know, my favorite part about them is how they book, and you can hold a seat on the plane when you come in.
Yeah.
You can hold, one person can pay the extra $15 and hold seats for 8 people.
We had a woman.
Oh, yeah.
We had a woman come in yesterday who said,
You did like it.
watch.
He was turning red.
She pays extra to get
To save seats for everyone that she's flying
seats.
on.
So she gets on first. She gets in the first A group.
Right.
She
For
pays
$15.
extra, and then then saves for her family. Now, is that fair to people who?
Well,
pay
just say
extra?
no and sit down. I mean,
Well,
I've done that.
So you can book
I'm
in
saving. Too
24
bad.
hours in
Over.
advance.
Yeah.
Exactly 24 hours in advance, the way I do it.
Yeah.
And do it really fast, and then you get on the A boarding.
Oh, I know that. But,
Yeah.
but if you get on A boarding, it's not fair that all the other people that don't have, that have A, have to wait, have to go around your seats that you're saving for someone who has a C boarding.
I agree
Which
with
is
that.
not fair.
I agree with that.
The whole system is supposed to be for people who are enterprising.
I think they
or-
should just load everybody from the front. You start at seat 1,
Yeah. Well, I
and
can
then go
see
back
saving
to
a
the
seat
back.
sitting next to you, but if you're trying to save 3 rows, you know.
I love Southwest. They don't charge you for your carry-on.
Exactly.
I have no problem with it. I love them.
What's that?
No, Southwest is
Southwest, they don't
Yeah.
carry,
I
they don't
have to
charge you for your
admit that
carry-on.
Southwest, as far as that goes in pricing, you can't beat them.
Yep.
In the way they load the planes.
That's all
Their
that's all I
efficiency
use.
is unbelievable.
Oh, what's that?
Their efficiency getting
Unloading
to
the
gate,
plane?
unloading the plane,
Yeah.
turning it around and getting it back out is amazing.
I love them. That's all I fly is Southwest, period.
We're going Frontier, and every time I get off, I'm so pissed. I'm just like ready to explode.
I made a mistake. I flew out to on Spirit.
No, yeah.
They're almost
I
mean.
I didn't even heard
Southwest is?
No,
Frontier.
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 They're like literally mean.
Seats like don't
Yeah,
recline.
you pay.
No, they don't.
Oh, God.
for everything.
It's like they walked in with a welder. and
Yeah,
just, like, stopped
exactly,
everyone.
exactly. And then shove the seats 2 inches less.
Well, they put like a whole new row in somehow.
Oh, they got bought by this guy 2 years ago.
That was more than 2 years.
Was it? And they switched. It used to be a really good airline.
Wow.
I love them.
Oh man, I'm angry every time I get off.
Yeah, you are. Exactly. They charge for water.
But here was the problem. For our Mexico trip,
If your bag's oversized, you get paid.
$1,200 for the 4 of us versus Southwest, $3,200.
Oh, wow.
So am I going to be a little pissed? Yeah, it's worth $2,000.
No, something like that.
Bring a bottle on the with you.
I'm surprised that much of a
I
difference.
get good and drunk.
Just don't, maybe they'll drag you off and be a millionaire.
No, because on Southwest they don't care. They don't care. It's all price, man. I think most people shop by brand though, not price.
Just get a stick. I'm gonna buy you a stick.
Look at his head. It's going to like literally explode.
He's saying everything opposite of what I say.
Severe storm season is here, and that's why you need to call Golden
The bear has been pulled.
That was the best line though. I specifically didn't call you stupid. I was crying when you said that.
But God, how does it got? Why do people do that? Why do they exaggerate?
No, I don't think it's exaggerated. I think you just didn't understand.
You know, he really thought it was going to be $20,000.
He did. I agree.
I specifically didn't call him.
Now we wonder why his son.
It's like he was going to call him all these other things.
Well, he dropped
But
out of school.
stupid. I called you dumb, idiot. I specifically didn't call you stupid.
By the way, Deputy Dan said, why don't they call Wink and Wink? 303-410-1720 for bankruptcy. And I said, well, you can't get out of student loans. And then I realized we're not even talking about a student loan. This was tuition. He went to school and then dropped out, and they're collecting tuition. Now, I'm wondering, does that fall under the same category?
I'd like to know that.
Should we ask Wink and Wink if we can? Winkandwink.com. I mean, I'm not advocating bankruptcy just on a whim, okay? It's usually for people who are like, you know, well, not usually. I'm saying it's for whatever you want, but I believe there are people that have no control sometimes. It's a death in the family, divorce, unemployment. There are problems, okay? You know, and then there are people who are just plain stupid with credit cards. Whatever it is, I'm not there to judge them. But in this particular case, if this kid is looking at, you know, 10 grand in debt or more, I wonder. So I'm going to ask Gigi Wink. Gigi, I have an interesting question. If I don't take out a student loan. I go to school and drop out, and now they bill me for tuition. Is that what do you call it? Dischargeable?
It should be dischargeable, yeah.
Really?
As long as you didn't sign a promissory note, it discharged a lot of
Wait a minute.
tuition.
Hold on.
Yep.
They said he did sign something. So could they convert that literally? Is that just a normal accounts receivable, or does that become a student loan?
It could become a student loan. He'd have to dig up what he signed or somehow get his hands on it. That's the difference, because they can, when you're just attending school and you're racking up a bill and then you drop out, you haven't really signed anything or agreed to anything. It's just a service that you didn't pay for. But if they're saying, we're going to allow you to enroll, we're going to give you this educational benefit, because that's what it all comes down to.
I think after the fact, they came after him and said, you got to agree to this payment schedule. Does that become a student loan?
I don't think so after the fact.
It's after. It's not. It's He didn't go there on an installment loan. The collection agency converted it to a loan.
That sounds like
it could be dischargeable. Okay. Well, thank you, Gigi. Wink and wink, as we said. 303-410-1720. If you ever need help, and they all do Chapter 13, Chapter 7. They also do, of course, a debt settlement. Jim, welcome. What's going Jim?
Hi, Tom.
What's happening?
A handyman came by a couple weeks ago, gave me his card, and we decided to sell our house and have it repainted.
Oh, I see.
So I called the guy, and he came out and told me what he would do it for, and so I gave him $400 to buy caulk and stuff, and
it's a lot of caulk.
Yeah, the problem we were trying to buy another house. Well, that deal fell through, so I decided not to have the house painted right now.
All right.
So I called him last night, right after we got that news, and said that I don't want to have my house painted anymore. And he got really angry, and he's threatened to put a lien on my house.
Well, hold on a sec. I don't see a contract here. What is this invoice you have?
That's all he signed. He did sign that, Tom, just so you know, at the bottom.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any terms and conditions.
Sure.
It just says, James, is that you?
Yes.
Okay, and then it says total job, $4,800, and then it says paint exterior house with whatever, with deck and labor, and it says caulking and whatever, all this stuff. 400 down total. Oh, hold on. 400 down total after down payment. It says $4,400 with the $400 we will get. I don't know. I'm trying to read it. Mark, read this. Does this look like a contract? It could be. It could be. Okay, so hold on a sec. Are you telling him he can keep the $400, or did you get the caulk?
I told him he could keep the $400 before he got really angry. When
Then what did you do? Did you stop payment?
No.
So you said he could keep the $400 before he got angry, and then what did you do? Take it back? What did you do? You said
no. I let him keep it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
this could be construed as a contract, I believe.
Yeah, it could. And he did give him a down payment. It could. Here's what I want to know. What did he say? Did he say he's going to sue you?
Yes, he's going to talk to his lawyer, but he said he's going to show up at 9 o'clock today and start working.
No, he can't do that. Not if you tell him not to.
Well, keep listening.
Right. Well, he did. He showed up, and so we called the police.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, he can't make you take the job, for goodness sakes. He can go after, like a lien or some kind of damages, but he can't make you do a specific performance.
That's the baffling part. This guy showed up like, I'm going to paint this place if you want me to or not.
That's called specific performance, which has to be ruled or ordered by court. You can't, invoke it on someone. So what did he do so did he leave?
He left and came back, and then the police showed up because we called him, and then he came back and talked to the policeman, and so then the policeman told us that he would not come back again.
Good.
Which is good because we were
so now it's going to be a civil matter.
Yes, probably.
Well, not probably. It's a civil matter. So it's going to be, he's going to either sue you for damages or put a lien on your house.
Okay, what damages does he have?
First of all, I don't think he can put a lien on your house because I don't think you got any work.
No, there was no work done, and this was, is there not a 3-day,
No,
right
there's not. No, there's not.
Okay.
There is only a 3-day right to rescind under very specific circumstances. Because the contract was done at your home, you know, people claim you do have a 3-day right, but that is not necessarily so if that's the normal place for doing business. So, you know, technically that is a good thing to say. Did he come to your door and did you do this door to door? I mean, did he do it at your door? How did you sign this contract?
Yeah, out of my driveway. He walked around the
You
house.
called him to come there, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, listen. Technically, it is an in-home sale. It is. But there are some exceptions to in-home sales.
Okay.
But I don't know. The more I'm thinking about this, though, I think he did have to give you a 3-day right to rescind because it was done at your home.
I'm reading right now.
Now here's the other one too. It's any other place other than the normal place of doing business. For example, if a contractor meets you at a restaurant or an insurance salesman or somebody at a restaurant and they have you sign a contract, that's also considered rescindable because it's not the normal place of doing business. I mean, unless it is what I'm saying. But normally it's not. For example, if you met, let's take it a ridiculous one, a plastic surgeon, you met at a restaurant and you signed a contract. Well, you wouldn't have to do it. He would have to give you a 3-day right to rescind, I believe.
I think here's the catch, though.
Okay, go ahead.
It comes down to a home solicitation.
Does it say solicitation or
it says
contract?
Solicitation.
Under the federal law, that is?
Well, I'm looking at Colorado's right to rescind.
There's a federal law. Hold on a sec. We got more coming right up.
That's the one that I think I was talking about. I didn't know they had one. It's called the right of rescission. Right, federal law, 3-day right to rescind. It's the Federal Trade Commission, FTC.
On the northbound side, just south of Alameda, heading up north of Colfax, southbound I-25 heavy from the Mousetrap, heading down.
I think it's only loans.
Big backups all the way to 245.
Yeah, that's it.
Look out for slow speeds westbound.
Wait a minute. No. There's a door-to-door on federal law. There is. Door-to-door.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Clear skies and a low around
Sales.
71.
Federal law.
We're sitting at 68.
Okay, at the time of sale, seller must tell you about the right to cancel time of sale.
Federal.
Exceptions to the rule.
Yep, cooling off period for door-to-door.
Yeah, that's what it says, cooling off period.
So, Federal Trade Commission, it says,
Your cash right away. Money tree.
let me read it now. Okay, it says, here's what it says. Other than, see, just exactly what I said. It said, sales conducted at locations other than the normal place of business of the seller or door-to-door. In addition to sales at consumers' homes, door-to-door sales include sales at facilities that are not the normal place, okay? Like hotel rooms and stuff. And then it says, the rule requires sellers to provide consumers with written or oral notice of a 3-day right to rescind. You know, additionally, such sellers must provide buyers with a completed receipt or copy of the sales contract containing a summary notice. You know what? I gotta tell you, I think he can get out of it because of this. He said it was done at my house. But what does that mean, door-to-door sale? It says, oh no, it's not just door-to-door. It says door-to-door sellers. Can you call him a door-to-door seller if he was at your door?
Not if you call him and have him over.
It's a good argument, though.
Well, it's an argument, that's for sure.
That's 429-6200.
Are you wearing contacts?
But I guess the guy coming to the door is selling his services.
But what does this guy want now? I don't think, what do you want? He didn't do any work, though. What would the guy lien? He just this whole guy just wants his $400 back?
No, he doesn't.
He said he could have a
Well, then I don't understand how he could even lien.
The guy says he wants to paint it and get the money.
Who wants the money? You going to show damages of lost wage or something? I mean, I don't know.
But, I mean, if he tried to file a lien, I don't think the lien would even stick because they didn't improve the house.
That's right, there was no value.
You must be given written notice of the right to cancel. Did you do that?
Probably not, but I still don't even think it matters. It's very bizarre. The guy
Mark,
shows
if you
up and
love
he's like, I'm going to
magicians,
take your
Mark,
house.
if you love magicians, I can't believe, why don't you go to Theater of Dreams in Castle Rock? That freaking place has...
It seems weird, man.
Every freaking
I've never
weekend,
walked in there.
every week.
Have you ever been there, Michael?
Off the park by my store?
Right by you.
No.
It doesn't look weird?
It looks a little creepy.
It looks creepy, man.
They're
What are
good
you
people.
afraid?
I had those people here on the show as comment men. They were really fun. And they have great magicians there. Really, they have good acts. They
Yeah, wasn't
really
there
do.
two of them that were here? Yeah.
You mean
I
in
remember.
studio?
Yeah, they were right here.
I guess I do remember something
Yeah.
like that. How do you think they loaded when we
Afraid they're
wait in
going to
line?
hypnotize him or something if he goes in there. Suzanne will have him.
Can I save seats when I walk in?
Yeah, book it early.
Only if you pay $15.
If I can't save seats, I ain't going anywhere. I ain't flying any airlines.
You're not going Frontier then.
Yeah, Frontier, you're screwed. You even want to sit next to a family member, it's an additional $50.
It is.
Although, with two kids, sometimes you can look at that as a plus.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hey,
I paid 50 for you in the back.
That's right. I paid just so you could.
Like answers?
What does that stand for?
University of Colorado.
That big new campus.
We took a junket to Vegas one time, and we were running late coming back. So we're running through the Vegas airport. It was like a movie, man. We finally get on. The entire plane was waiting for us. It was a junket. It was like a rent-a-plane. And there's two seats, man. There's one way in the back and then one way in the front. The one way in the front had a guy that had to weigh 450 pounds in it.
You run to the back.
Suzanne literally pushed me aside and bolted for the back. And she's way smaller than me. I'm going, this sucks.
This just sounds like a Seinfeld episode.
Hey, concrete
Lift and stabilization. I just want to tell you, that is a topic that's come up on the show a few times, and this emailer wanted to know about the pound thing. Okay, first of all, he does polyjacking and concrete lift. So mud jackers do two things. They can do mud, which is a concrete slurry, or they can do polyjacking, which is a plastic. Very seldom do they do both because it's entirely different equipment. Concrete lift and stabilization does both, Devin Johns. And this pound thing is not a texting the keyword. You have to say it. So to this guy, who's Robert, you have to hit pound 250 send. Pound 250 send. Then it rings and you say concrete lift. Then they send you the text back with all the contact info. It is not a texting app. When you start, you don't text the word, you say the word. So you put pound 250 send, and then when they answer, you say concrete lift, right? It says your keyword and concrete lift. And by the way, Devin Johns does it. He has great pricing. It's way cheaper than tearing out and replacing that thing, by the way.
Man, if you walk around a house and if you look and if you're sick and tired of tripping over that little bit of concrete,
or having water drain back into your house, that's bad, or
and
back towards your house.
It's way cheaper than you can think too.
Yeah, and he'll do a free evaluation and estimate. So hit pound 250 send. Okay, now this painter, I think I'd make the argument it was an in-home sale or at-home sale, and you have a 3-day right to rescind. That's what I would do. Did you do it within 3 days?
Yes, this is the third day. And
well, technically, the 3 days starts when you get notice, and he never gave you the notice. But in any case, I would say that's what I would go on. But I don't think he can lien your house anyway.
Well, here's the other thing I just thought of.
Because he didn't do anything.
He called the guy the night before and says, hey, listen, I don't want you coming out Monday or whatever day it is. The guy still shows up. He ends up calling the cops on him.
I know.
That might be a way to get out of this thing.
Here's the deal, Jim. Yeah. A mechanic's lien is for work done or materials given. It's not for a breach of contract. A breach of contract does not necessarily lead to a lien on a home. I think you can have it removed even if it does. Jason, I'm sorry you had to wait so long. What's going on with you, Jason? Hey, I want to remind you, we have our car experts here. We got to talk cars. Some car days you can't. You got all car questions. Some days you don't. So remember, we have another hour to go. 303-713-TALK. Let's talk cars. Jason, what's going on?
Hello?
Hey, man, I'm sorry for the wait. What's happening, sir?
I'm having a major problem with the court system.
What is it? What's the problem?
Well, my soon-to-be ex-wife are still in this process since October. She's had domestic violence charges on her, threatening to shoot me. Those got dismissed, unfortunately. 3 calls into Child Protective Services on her for pushing the kids, grabbing my son's arm and leaving marks. And then last time she pushed him down and bruised his tailbone. And then on Easter weekend, her boyfriend took a belt and left marks on my kids. He is now charged with child abuse. Due to one comment in the police report that says, Dad tells us to act up on Mom's time, she filed a motion to restrict parenting time, and it was granted without a hearing. And this judge...
So hold on. So right now, Jason, that guy was charged with child abuse?
Correct.
Okay. Her charges were dismissed?
Correct.
All of them?
Correct. And then Child Protective Services is still investigating the 3 other calls, 2 by her,
for her,
by the
but they restricted parenting time to you.
Correct. For one statement that...
Well, I understand that, but that they take...
says I'm alienating the kids, which is just...
They take that very seriously. You need to lawyer up, Jason.
I have a lawyer.
Well,
and
it doesn't sound like you're happy with the lawyer.
I'm happy with him. Unfortunately, this judge has even ruled the motions where we requested a PRE, and she instantly denied the motion without even reading it.
Hold on, because we're running out of time. I don't know what we can do. If you want your case reviewed, I don't know exactly what we can do. We can't fight the court system, but we can get you some advice. If you're exhausted or irritable...
Wow, divorce, man. Divorce does that.
Wow.
Divorce does that to people. It drives you freaking crazy.
He's ready to go, man. He better watch
This poor guy, I mean, if this is true, can you imagine a guy, spanking your...
Oh, my God. A boyfriend of your soon-to-be ex-wife spanks one of your kids?
Oh, no.
Oh, I go to jail.
I would have a very tough time. I would have a...
Well, they'd have a tough time finding a guy.
Break his nose.
No, that would be...
then you're screwed. Then you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Right, true.
But when the emotions are that raw, that happens.
Right,
I mean,
yeah. Good point. Man.
That's why I know people in Jersey.
I got a guy.
That's why I got Dan. He's my muscle.
Man. I guess you can get a restraining order on that boyfriend from not coming over to the house ever again, or near those kids ever again.
You know, on a serious note, did you guys see that Fox News women are going to start wearing pants and they're getting rid of the skirts?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
by choice?
They all wear...
Can you believe that shit?
Yeah.
Well, who's going to watch Fox News anymore? I mean,
there ain't one woman on Fox News that's not hot.
That's their entire deal.
Yeah.
Is that why you watch it, though, seriously?
No.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be.
Well, it ain't a reason I don't watch it.
So is that a rule now for the company?
I read an article saying they're going to make them all wear pants.
I don't think they can do that.
No, they can't. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't
Well, what else if they called it a uniform?
Well, then they got to give them uniforms.
Can they wear pants and still wear the high heels?
I just read an article that said it. I mean, I don't know if it's real or not.
Every one of those chicks got the high heels on. I mean, they got it all going.
Listen, you got to wear Crocs with socks and
a floppy dress
and a moo-moo. I think it's horrible if that's true.
And what's that one chick's name? Guilfoyle?
She's not even there anymore.
Really?
No, she is. Guilfoyle is. You're talking Greta.
Greta's who I was talking about.
She was not hot.
Greta was not hot.
Right, that's why she's not there no more.
No, she left.
That's why she's not there.
Who was the guy that did run it out? You just see that.
What about O'Reilly?
Hey, you know, on a 1 to 10, at best she's a 4. Let's make her go away. Send O'Reilly over there.
Right.
Put some dark glasses on O'Reilly so he doesn't know what she looks like.
But O'Reilly, man, he's gone.
Oh, man, what is he?
Wow.
He turned out to be a hound dog, man. I had no idea.
How do you know that's true, though? I mean, come on.
You know, 5 or 6. Okay, I don't hear anybody going, oh, Bill Cosby. Geez, how did we know that wasn't, you know?
He did.
What's the difference?
Oh, so Riley was a hound dog.
Oh, shit, it sounds... At one point, he wanted to go upstairs. He was telling the one lady he wanted to go up and rub her back down with a lupa. Or not a lupa. Falafel.
You had this eating
So what did he say to this lady? What did he say?
He was talking to her like a porn book or something, like a penthouse forum. He's like, hey, baby, listen, we can go upstairs and I'll take your clothes off, we'll get in the shower, and I'll do your back with a falafel. But it wasn't a falafel, it was a lupa. I screwed it up with the story. I think, were you here when I said that?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Kevin looks at me like,
Yeah, Oompa Loompa.
he's gonna rub her back with a falafel.
Is that like a burrito?
Sounds like something really.
I don't know if I know Jeff.
No, they sell those at your favorite Ethiopian restaurant, the falafel.
A falafel. It's like a
That's what it was. I think that's what it was. It was an Ethiopian restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
His favorite.
The Troubleshooter Show.
Yeah, did you see that? I don't know.
Tom Martino on Talk Radio 630.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around. Help me get
Hello, Tom Martino here. This is the Troubleshooter Show. It's Car Day. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. And we are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. We hope that you can call in with your car problems and questions and complaints because it is Car Day, but we aren't going to limit you ever. Mark Machowski is with us, Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. Listen, he's going to do a deal that I love. You want to hear it? Can I unveil it?
I can't believe.
Can I unveil it?
I can't wait. I can't
listen
believe
to
he's
this
doing it.
right now. Listen to this. You guys be thinking of a screaming deal. Right now, Mark Machowski, until further notice, is going to do this. Any car repair will be found and fixed for $89 plus parts. Anything. Now, or it's free. Now, listen to why we do this. Think about this. You go in there, and for a guaranteed $89 plus parts, everything's fixed or found. And if it's a major problem, let's say the entire engine's gone or something, a rod is or something, okay, that you get a free diagnostics. Obviously, he can't do it for $89, but you have lost nothing. So it's find, fix, or free, $89 plus parts. Find, fix, or free, $89 plus parts. 303-781-9858, 781-9858. I love that one. I love that one.
I had 5 stores. I wouldn't do that. It seems like you're going to lose too much money.
No, I love it. No, $89. You know why? Because you find, fix, or free. Okay, I could see where you could. Right. Okay, but
ultimately, you're going to end up doing 2-3 hours of labor for $89 plus whatever the parts are. It's a great deal for the consumer. Don't get me wrong.
Now, I don't know what kind of a screaming deal body shops can do because most of it's insurance pay, right? I mean, really.
So pretty much,
if you think about it, aren't most? What would you say? What percentage of your customers are insurance pay?
Better than 90%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing like roofers now.
How about, do you know this? How many of your customers are women compared to men?
About 78%.
What?
Yep.
Wait, 78% of your customer base are women?
Uh-huh.
Why is that?
Absolutely.
I'm not saying.
Mark's just trying to start with me, Tom.
It has nothing to do with my circumstance.
Is he like stirring
Saying,
trouble? Or
yeah,
what?
So it's
90%
Take 'em
insurance.
home with ya.
Is the other 10% Mark's family?
It's Mark's family.
Oh,
Yep.
got it.
Yep.
No, seriously.
Can you believe that, though? 78% women.
I never thought of that. I never thought of asking body shops that statistic. That's interesting.
That's why I'm here, buddy.
Jason, listen, man. We have had so many people call us in the middle of a divorce. And I'm going to tell you, both men and women. And they're all the same. Okay? Accusations going back and forth. Now, I'm not saying you're just throwing accusations. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is what happens. Accusations of domestic violence, almost always. Child abuse, almost always. And restraining orders, usually. And it's a mess. Okay? You know, usually the domestic violence accusations come when one wants to get a restraining order to get the other one out. Okay? The child abuse comes when they want to get parenting time away from the other. And it's not always, they don't always say abuse like, you know, deadly abuse, but like, you know, alienation or just different kinds of things, okay? But this is just so repeated over and over and over. But Jason, there's one thing I hear in all of those cases, and I just have to tell you straight up front so I don't mislead you. It's something I don't believe, okay, when people tell me. And that is that the judge has it out for them. Okay, I know people get pissed off at the justice system. I don't think I have ever seen a case where judges have it out for someone. I just don't. I know that people want to believe that. So I don't know what I can do to help you, because if you're telling me a judge has it out for you, we can't do anything about it. Judges are basically untouchable. Jason. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am.
I can't fight a judge. You can't fight. Really?
No, and I don't have the money to even file appeals because that's another $5,000.
Well, there aren't. What kind of appeal are you talking about?
I want a judicial review of her rulings because she ruled on it before she even read it.
Well, that's what you're saying.
Oh, she said it right there in court.
Okay.
Before my lawyer said we plan to file this.
Jason, what county is this in?
Arapahoe.
Okay. Listen, I don't know what to tell you, but you're not going to get a judicial, even if you got a judicial review, they're not going to do anything. Especially in a divorce. Do you realize always the losing party for a motion or a trial or a decision almost always says the judge was unfair? Almost always. It's not a new thing, Jason. So divorces, it always happens in divorces. I'm not saying it's true or not true. I'm just saying it happens every time, and that hurts you. So, you know, what I don't understand is, are you saying you have no visitation anymore?
No. No,
Zero.
I have supervised visitation, and I have to get that all set up at $85 an hour. Wow. And I am having to pay for everything.
How old are the kids, man?
We have twins, 12, and a boy, 5.
Now, wait a minute. What do you mean you have to pay for everything? What do you mean pay for everything? What are you
I am paying the home mortgage. I am paying all the utilities for the house, and she gets to live in it.
Was that the temporary orders?
The judge keeps amending them and taking more money, and plus $300 more for child support too.
How much child support do you pay per child?
Right now, under the temporary orders, it's only $300 since I'm paying all.
Is that
the bills for the house.
Wait, $300 per child?
No, just $300 total.
Oh, plus all the bills. Okay, that's your child support. I understand.
And also $300 a month for medical expenses for my son who has ADHD and autism. And this is the word of the child that they're believing is the autistic child with ADHD that will say anything. So, and those are the words they believe him over anybody else.
Usually autistic kids are truthful.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that.
You can't understand or process anything.
You know, here's the deal. I'm not going to get involved, whether you told your kids to act up or whatever. All I'm saying is when is the divorce going to be final?
Now into August, because she keeps pushing stuff out.
Who does?
The ex.
Okay. Well.
Meanwhile, I am flipping the bill I provide all the mental, all the mental, medical, and all the insurance comes out of me, and I'm the bad guy here.
Well, you're not the bad guy. That's what you're
that's
saying.
That's what they keep telling me.
Well, they're not telling you that. Now, they're investigating your wife right now, right?
No. Child Protective Services, after 3 calls, 2 by the pediatrician, 1 by the school, keep saying, we don't know what to do. We're not going to recommend anything, and then they close the case.
So you had a pediatrician call in on your ex?
I took after her boyfriend
You took the kids? Okay, hold on. He was already charged. See, Jason, you're mixing things up. You're trying to just pile everything up. You're saying they're not doing anything. They arrested the man. They arrested the man for child.
No, they didn't. He fled, and so they gave him a summons. They even denied me a protection order against the kid.
Okay, so
from this guy.
So does this guy still go over the house?
They live with him. The judge sent the kids to live with her and the guy charged with child abuse and took him away from me.
Was he found guilty? Did he plead guilty to child abuse?
The charges on that are now set for in June sometime.
So, was he charged with child abuse?
Yes, he was.
Okay. And now he was let out on his own recognizance?
No, they never arrested him. They only handed him a summons.
So when does he go to court?
In June, like on the 20th or something.
Okay. But he still is allowed in the house?
Well, the kids live. My ex moved in with him because she was cheating on me with him.
Okay.
And then she wonders why my daughter doesn't like him and her.
So he beat which kid?
My 12-year-old boy.
The one with autism?
Yes.
Okay. So
using the buckle end, he had scratches down his back and stuff.
Now, did he deny that?
Since he wasn't there, the officer couldn't, the officer who did the investigation, guy fled and...
But they gave him a summons to appear.
Yeah, correct. So then
Now, is the DA investigating it?
Yes, they are.
In what way?
I only got to talk to the victim's advocate person yesterday.
Okay. And why are they letting, until this is sorted out, why didn't they issue a protective order?
That's what I can't get anybody to tell me. Because my understanding, Colorado law does not mandate that child protection orders or protection orders are in place for child abuse.
Okay.
Jason,
of all the stuff you told me, that is the one that I think is very odd. The fact that she's living with a man who is accused of beating her son.
Well, yeah.
And there's no protection order, and she's still living there with that boy. That is very odd to me. That, in fact, is shocking to me if you're telling me the truth. Now, you're sure it was a true, did the pediatrician truly verify all this?
Yes, he did. I took him in. This happened on a Friday, and I took him into the pediatrician on Tuesday because I had other appointments on Monday.
And there were still marks there.
Yes, there were. There was.
And you
still
said
black
this boy will say. You said this boy will say anything. And so, well, how do you know he was beaten?
Because even in the police report, it said that he. And that's what they're going.
The boy, you said yourself that this boy will say anything because he said you told him to act up in front of mom, and only when he was with mom. So if you didn't believe your son, and you said
I do believe my son.
Said
but my daughter also witnessed
this boy. Okay, did she give a statement to the police?
Yes, she did.
Is it on the police report?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And the police report was, do you have a copy of the police report?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can you please get it to me?
Sure.
Okay, I absolutely want it. I also want the name of the guy. I want everything. Everything you have. Now listen, I'm not going to help you with your divorce, but when there's a child involved who was beaten, according to you, and the man is still living in the home and nothing was done as far as a protective order, that I will absolutely look into. Absolutely look into it.
And keep it as cool as you can, man.
And quiet.
Very frustrated, but keep it cool.
Please don't go and call everybody.
Don't make it worse.
Martino's investigating. Please. But get me this, because Jason, of all the things you said, this is the most preposterous I've heard, if that's true. If this guy truly was charged, and he has to appear, and until he appears, rather than be safe, they are letting him stay in that house. That is shocking to me. Okay?
Yeah, there was no court order, no protection order, and...
Did you ask for one?
I went and did one independently, and I got chewed out by the judge.
What did he say, the judge?
She said that she said that there would be a mandatory protection order, and one was never issued.
Was it the same judge doing your divorce?
No, unfortunately, since he is not, I'm not married to him, and he is not part of the divorce.
Who is not?
Her boyfriend, because he's not. So I was advised by my attorney and even to go, well, this has to go to civil court.
Right, regular. So you went.
And the judge asked me, why am I not filing this in divorce land? It's like, well, then the divorce side is between me and her, not me and him.
No, but did you ask the judge for a protection order for your son?
Yes, I did. And my other two children.
And he denied it?
Yes, she did.
And she denied it based on what? What was her decision?
Her decision was because there would be a mandatory one that was going to be issued.
So she didn't have to?
Right. She said mine was denied because there will be one issued, but
When did she say that would be issued?
When they served him for child abuse.
But it
and
wasn't.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have, okay, and you know for sure he was summoned for child abuse?
Yes, because that's actually in the subsequent police report.
I need both of them. You're going to get me all this stuff,
the same report that
Jason. You're going to get me all.
Later.
You're going to get me all this stuff, plus your name and excuse me, plus your phone number and stuff and email. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, Suzanne. We really have to investigate this. That's a bunch of horse crap. If that's really happening, that's really crazy. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. It's so hard in a divorce, though, to know where the crap is and where the truth is because so many people are upset. But that one thing got my attention, folks. We will look into it. If you're looking for a loan, look no further than my referral list at referralist.com and Ideal Home Loans. You know, Ideal is a great place to go because they have in-house so many programs. First of all, they write their own loans. That means they do the underwriting in-house and they can close all loans in 3 weeks or less. They can also give you custom term loans for any length you want. So you don't have to go back to 30, but you can still get lower rates. They also have a rate guarantee, so if rates go down, they will refinance you free of charge over the next 2 years for no additional charges. And they have the pre-approval, which is like a cash offer when you go out to buy a home. 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000. Their website is idealhomeloans.com.
This report.
On that call you made? Doesn't that seem weird too? Now, do you think, I mean, that seems weird. If he's literally charged with child abuse and they don't issue a protective order.
What's weird is the mother wouldn't get on the boyfriend's butt for doing that to her kid. Most mothers are so protective about that.
Sure, and that's if it's true. I think that's what Tom's getting at here. But you know what? When someone says something like that, I believe him. I just don't believe it.
But he says himself, when it was him, he said the kid will say anything. Did you hear him say that?
Right.
He did say that.
Right. He said there was marks on his back. Belt
He
buckle.
said the girl would, the daughter
Would verify it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But like you said, in a divorce, it's hard to tell which end it is.
Yes.
I'm sorry, though, if my kid comes home with marks on his back on a Friday,
Oh, yeah.
we're at the emergency room that day.
That Friday, I don't care what I'm doing.
I'm not waiting.
No.
I'm not waiting.
And he wasn't living with
He
him.
didn't get him
He wasn't
until
living
the
with him.
next week.
He didn't get him till.
Is that what it
Oh,
was?
dude,
It
the first
happened
time he got him
on
back.
Friday, and then he just got him.
Oh, okay.
Your reason to go in the emergency room, you could have done that, is just to get a report. Right.
Document everything.
Well, he has supervised visits.
I don't know who we would call, but my one lives out in Byers. Apparently her neighbors rent out their yards to campers, and she wants to get on that bandwagon.
You saw that. You saw that.
Art of Granite, right?
This is
I got 5 acres, man. My neighbors would love that. Okay, guys, I got to do this.
6606.
630 KHOW.
If you're looking for cabinets or countertops, artofgranite.net. Art of Granite in Golden. Mitch Floria has a beautiful showroom out there, and that's where he does his fabrication and installation. But you don't have to go out there until you're ready. Give him a call first. Give him a photograph. Email him some dimensions, and he'll give you a pretty close price. But when you go out there and pick the countertops, whether it be granite, other natural stone, or other solid surface, you will love the way he does it. First of all, he sells you all the material at wholesale and only charges for the fabrication and installation. But he tears out and hauls away all the old kitchen stuff free. He has cabinets direct from the manufacturer with just a small markup. Give him a call, and it all starts there. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. Artofgranite.net. Also on my referral list at referralist.com.
A good shutdown would help make this country's wallet great again, believe me.
So, I did,
Okay.
you know what I did.
$1,000.
My divorce attorney talked me off the list.
Oh, I bet, man.
That's what he was good at, calming the situation down.
They're like half shrink, half attorney.
My ex's attorney was a shit stir, and he was really upset.
No, it's fine. We're coming back here. If you want to do the iHeart app, do it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot
How long were
that.
you and your wife together before you guys got separated?
25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. iHeart Radio, we are live. That's why you hear people calling us from all over the country. They're listening. And they literally can listen in their car because they Bluetooth it to their car. If you get the iHeart Radio app, you can listen to anybody, anywhere. You can build your own radio station, not just talk radio, but all the music genres you want on iHeart. It's really cool. So that's why that guy was calling me from my old stomping grounds in upstate New York. And Christy, what is on in your... Whoa, sorry, that's not Christy. Christy, what's going on, Christy?
Hey, I've got a question. Is it possible to sell part of your property to a neighbor if you don't own it outright?
Okay, it depends. It depends on where you are. If you're in a subdivision, most likely not, because subdivisions were laid out with a plat, had to be approved by the planning and zoning, and there are a certain number of lots, and it was all very carefully planned. If you're in a subdivision, probably not. If you're in a municipality, it's only possible if there's access and it's not below a minimum lot size. Yes, you can apply to the municipality. If you are on 35 acres and it's not a subdivision, yes, you can do it. So it all depends. So tell me this, or ask me about the situation you want to know.
Well, we're in a subdivision, so maybe that answers
And how
it right
many?
there.
And how big is your lot?
It's almost a half an acre, and at the back of our lot, which backs up to the neighbor that we were thinking of doing it with, there's like a 8 by 40 foot.
No. Okay, hold on now. That's different. If you're asking me, can you make a lot line adjustment, or I thought you meant sell it for another home.
No,
okay,
it's just a part of our property that we never use.
If it's not going to increase density, and you're not subdividing, it's not increasing anything. It's different. That's a different thing. Yes, you can do that under certain circumstances.
How about if there's a minimal for how big a lot has to be?
Then, okay, if there is a minimal lot size, you can't do it, or a minimal density. It wouldn't affect density, because density takes into consideration large and small lots. But it could affect minimal sites. And why would people have minimal lot sizes? Well, or minimum lot sizes. I'll tell you why. With septic and sewers, septics and leach fields, they're there, and also for other reasons. But let me ask you about that. Is this in a city?
Yeah, we're unincorporated Jefferson County, but we're in a subdivision. We're just not far from Columbine High School.
Do you have water and sewer?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you know if your neighbors want to buy?
He'd probably be amenable to buying it. I know he wants it.
Okay, you can ask the planning department. That's what you would go. Jefferson County, you would ask them. It would be, don't call it a sale. You call it a lot line adjustment. You hear that?
Okay.
Because that's really all it is. Think about it, right? You're not selling. You're not literally taking a piece of your land and selling it to someone. If you do that, it will never go through, because it then creates an extra lot. You don't want to create an extra lot. You want to do a lot line adjustment. So that line of theirs comes toward you. Do you see?
Right. It essentially would just mean that he took down his fence
he bought the extra right. That's right. It's a lot. If you address it as a lot line adjustment, you will have way more success.
Okay, so does that have any bearing then when like taxes, for your lot size or anything like that?
If you do a lot line adjustment, then if you're assessed on the size of lot, it may not affect the value of the home. So it could, but maybe not.
Would that affect your mortgage in any way?
Now, that's another thing. If you do a lot line adjustment and you have a loan, you do have to get your lender's approval.
Okay.
But that's not a big deal. See, the lender only cares about, do you have collateral? And did that really reduce the value of the property? But that's a good point, Kevin, because really, that is a collateral. That is a piece of collateral. You can't just minimize your lot or shrink your lot without their permission. You can't do anything without... Well, technically I shouldn't say that. It's amazing, though. People are allowed to do all kinds of renovations without checking with their lender. Isn't that amazing? Think about that. It's a piece of collateral, Mark, and people are allowed to screw it up. They don't have to get permission. But if you do a lot line adjustment, I'm not even sure if you do need it. I think you may or may not. You may want to go. It may in your loan. It might specify it, and if it does, you have to do it. If not, you don't. And you would want to get an attorney to do this transaction anyway. And you need a surveyor to do the lot line adjustment. So it's a lot more complicated than you think, Christy, depending on how old the subdivision is. If it's old, you're going to need a richer survey than if it's new. How old is the subdivision?
It was built in 72.
You're going to need a full monument survey. So that's going to cost you. And so a monument survey, where depending on how far they have to go to find the monuments and stuff, that survey could go into the $5,000–6,000 range.
Oh, really?
It could. It could. It might not. It might just be about $1,400–1,600. How much were you thinking you would sell this for?
I don't even know. To tell you the truth, we have such a large lot, and our neighbor has a pretty small lot, and he's got grandchildren and people back there all the time. It's like, gee, I'd just give it to you. You know, unless it cost us a lot.
No.
Maybe
he would have to pay for the. I would want him to pay for the survey and all the stuff it takes to get it done. There are going to be expenses involved. I would say to do this legally and to do this the right way with engineering or with surveying, I would put a price tag of maybe around $3,000 to get this done. 303-713-TALK. Speaking of backyards, Lisa, you have something to say. Go ahead, Lisa.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's happening?
Thanks for taking my call.
What's happening?
I live in Arapahoe County, and I've noticed that in Arapahoe County, in single-dwelling homes, people are moving in trailers and campers, and they're calling them renters, and they're receiving lots of money from all these renters.
Really?
So
Wait,
I'd like to know what the legality is.
Well, I
on
don't
it.
know. How far in the country are you?
Not far in the country at all. We're in town.
In what town?
Out on the Eastern Plains, Byers.
Okay, so it depends on the city. If
Okay.
they allow you to have campers out there, then yes. If they allow them to be occupied, then yes. It would all be in zoning and planning. That's all it is.
Okay, so it's just zoning and planning.
Also covenants if it's in a subdivision or neighborhood. Covenants would rule that too. Many covenants specifically forbid renting out part of your property. But it all has to do with that, with whatever is established already.
Oh, can I ask you one more question?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, this is on cars. I'm an older female, and I don't have the ability to, work on my own car. So I would like to know what vehicle would be reliable for an older woman to be able to drive that wouldn't require a whole lot of maintenance.
Hyundai.
Hyundai?
Well, Hyundai, you say because of the warranty, right?
Exactly.
The Hyundai has a 10-year bumper-to-bumper, is it, Mark?
6-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper, 100,000 powertrain 10-year.
Are those made by Honda?
No, it's Hyundai. It's a separate company.
Oh, Hyundai.
It's pronounced Hyundai.
No, it's pronounced Sunday, but it's with an H, Hyundai. And,
Okay.
And Mark Machowski, you got an idea? Or
Let's say Toyota. Toyota.
How about?
Toyotas?
Yeah, most Asian cars.
Most
No, wait a minute. Are you
American
saying,
cars,
wait,
huh?
so you're saying Chevys and Fords take more maintenance?
After, I would say 100,000, I say, yeah, they do pick up.
Are you talking new or used?
I'm talking used.
Okay. Okay, well, and how much can you afford? Let's just talk specifics.
About 35.
35 what?
100.
Oh, my God. Well, you're going to get a piece of junk.
You go.
Well,
Lisa,
you know?
Lisa, no, seriously, I'm not kidding you. I mean, 3,500, I mean that sincerely. You're going to get junk.
Probably.
Well, not
But,
probably.
we have to live what we can. We have to get what we can afford.
Okay.
Right?
Well, yes.
What do you have now?
Nothing.
Oh.
But here's the deal. When people say they have to get what they afford, I agree. But when you buy something for $3,500, it's almost assured that you're going to put money into it.
Or it's not going to be drivable.
Right. I mean, that's why it's $3,500. So it's really difficult. I'm not telling you can't find them.
Right.
But you get what you pay for.
Older Honda or Toyota.
Older Honda or Toyota.
Yeah, if you can find one in that
Well,
price
see,
range and get it checked out.
I totally disagree. And I'm going to tell you, I totally disagree because of what you just said on a Toyota or a Hyundai or any, and I'll tell you why, okay? I'm going to tell you why coming right back. Right now, who do I need to talk about? John Fuller, Fuller Law. If you have a personal injury and you're looking for an attorney, call John Fuller. John Fuller has been talking to our listeners, giving them advice, and sometimes it's free. Well, it's always free exactly on the initial consultation, and then if you hire him, it's a percentage of what he recovers for you. But so many people call and can handle minor things on their own. He's just a good guy, and he likes helping people. Give him a call if you have any doubts, or you think someone injured you, it's their fault, or you're losing a lot of work, a lot of playtime, maybe vacation, and you want to know, should I be reimbursed? He can help you evaluate your case. He's been helping people in Colorado for years. Look at his website, johnrfuller.com, or call him 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by Lifebuoy.
Sounds like, oh no, she's not going to win. She's down by a shitload of points. Who's that? She's the right.
Marine
Le Pen in France. No, she's,
Oh, no.
Depends how much they're paying you.
No, can you imagine what, just like waste and everything that you find out there?
Oh, yeah. We're on extension cords out there.
Oh. Well, did you see the shark video?
Digging holes.
Digging big holes in the ground.
Where'd you find that shark?
That was crazy, wasn't it?
It must have been mailed.
It was on CNN. What are you talking about? This, a porn star gets into a tank to film something in the ocean around sharks, and a shark ended up biting her foot almost off.
Really? Through the cage, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll find it.
You started crying.
But a porn star. It was a porn star.
I didn't know that.
Porn star bit. Shark.
What do you
Boy,
do
you
over
never
there
know where the
during
hell
that
you're
show,
When you start with your first word, porn.
Her name is,
BMW today and see what doors
whatever
open
it is,
for
let's
you.
see.
BMW, the ultimate driving machine. For important details,
Crazy.
visit Shop BMW in Highlands Ranch or on the web at shopbmw.com. And tell them Dave Logan sent you.
You recognize him, Mark?
only from Palm Street. She's in a pretty risky business, but my God, getting bitten by a shark adds a new element.
This is Courtney Pierce, president of Buy and Build Incorporated. You already know.
I don't think she was doing the
Wait
film.
till you see the gash, and I meant where the shark was.
Are you sure? I bet. Well, Tom, that's a lot of
Man, that'd be spooky just doing that.
Prefabricated and ready to install. Buy and Build is your granite and cabinet headquarters with the best prices anywhere. Visit our
An ad for a sex cam company?
Online in 5.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
You'll be thrilled with the thousands you save at Buy and Build.
You know, we were talking about Mark doing Find, Fix, or Free. You know what? We're doing that with Plumline Services, too. I think these are some of the best deals for consumers. Plumline will do any electrical problem. Find, Fix, or Free, $149. That's everything. $149. 100 for complete. Now, they can fix about 85% of those electrical problems, and a lot of them take so much time to find. It's not always the parts. So, if it's a major deal, again, you've lost nothing. You get a full written diagnosis. Find, Fix, or Free, $149 for a Plumline electrician. They also have plumbers, heating and cooling techs, and they have drain techs. And they have 93 or free with the drains. If they can't clear your drain for $93, you pay nothing. No tricks, no gimmicks. In fact, they have their own drain division. If you ever do need drain work, they do it directly for you with no subcontractors. 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086. PlumlineServices.com.
The radio station that's got people talking.
Yeah, about around 10. I'm already up.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome.
I think I've answered Lisa's call, and she wanted to know about a car, and we're talking about the cars, too. And this is why I disagree with she can only spend about $3,500, and everyone said Toyota, Nissan, or whatever, all the foreign cars. Now, here's what I want you to listen to carefully. They are dependable cars. They're very dependable. But the value goes away for used cars. The best new car values are the worst used car values. You can buy a Chevy or a Ford in beautiful condition compared to a Toyota or a Honda of the same vintage. In other words, a Honda or Toyota will be way more expensive than a Chevy or Ford. So when it comes to older used cars, you will get a way better value with American cars. Way better, because they depreciate faster. The thing that makes, the very thing that makes the Japanese car good value is the very thing that makes it a terrible used car value. I don't mean it's not good to have. You can find a gem, but you're going to pay for it. But if you only have $3,500 to spend, $4,000, under $5,000, American cars, you get way more car. That's the only reason I disagree. But because they you know, our mechanics say they tend to have more maintenance, I don't know if that's true anymore either, guys. It might be. You guys know more than I do. So if you say it, they do, then I'm going to believe you. But I think that you can still find the ones that were taken care of. But here's what I'm getting at. If you have a Ford or a Chevy that was taken care of very, very well, and you have a Toyota or a Nissan taken care of very, very well, or a Honda, and you want to spend $3,500, where are you going to get the better car?
Yeah, you're not going to touch
the Ford and
Honda.
Chevy.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right.
If you compare apples with apples, if you have $3,500 to spend, you will get a better Ford and Chevy than you will a Nissan or a Honda or a Toyota. That's exactly right.
Sure.
That's the only reason I disagree when it comes to those older used cars. It's just you get what you pay for. Now, there are a lot of people who take care of their Fords and Chevys, and they're beautiful, and Chryslers or whatever, and they're nice vehicles. So nowadays, with a 2017 car, I know it's hard to predict. Let's take a 16 or a 15. Are they still more maintenance, you think, when they get older than a Japanese car? Or is that, are you talking about the 2000s, 2001s, 2000? I mean, really, I want to know that. Is it still, because I have always thought that American car, it's a myth that the German, Japanese cars are built that much better.
I'm going to say they're about the same.
The newer ones?
Yeah, right about the same.
Okay, but she can't possibly afford those newer ones, so it doesn't matter. But so I would say, that's what I would say. From what year? I would say from about, what, 2010 on, that the cars pretty well started equalizing.
They all stepped up pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, if you look, I mean, those are pretty nice. I mean, Chevy and Ford are putting out some nice products. Casey wants an opinion on a vehicle purchase. Go ahead, Casey.
Hey, how you doing, Tom? I
Good,
appreciate
Casey.
all you do.
Thank you, man.
Been
What's
listening
happening?
For a long time.
Thanks.
You know, I'm looking at a Jeep Wrangler Unlimited or a Hummer H3. Virtually the same miles, same condition.
The Hummer will get you a better deal. I mean, I think only because Jeeps are overpriced in Colorado.
My God, that Hummer H3 though, isn't that just like isn't that the same chassis as what? There's nothing. It's not like a
same
Hummer.
as like an Avalanche or a Suburban.
No,
just a little smaller.
But
it's not like the Hummer 1 or 2.
Again, I'm talking value. The Wrangler, the Jeep in Colorado is overpriced.
I've had 5 Jeeps in Colorado, I know.
People in Colorado are paying way more for Jeeps than anywhere else in the country. So, I mean, so it depends. I mean, what you like. If you like both of them, you're going to get a way better vehicle for the same money in a Hummer.
Long-term mechanical?
I don't know. Now, that's these guys. That's these guys. I don't know.
Right.
I don't think the Jeeps are stellar when it comes to mechanical, by the way.
Wranglers I've had no real problems with, but I'm just looking long-term.
Guys, what do you think? The Hummer versus the Jeep? I would say the Hummer. But
yeah, the Hummer's more of a GM-based chassis and engine and stuff. Would do better in a Jeep.
You know, Jeeps are... I'm surprised you haven't had problems with the Wrangler. I mean, just to be straight, I mean, they don't warrant the price tag. I don't know how else to put it.
You know, the only concerns I have with Hummers, I don't particularly care for the style of transfer cases, their differential setups.
And the ergonomics are terrible, too.
Yeah, and the parts cost on a Hummer is a lot more than the parts cost on a Jeep.
And you can find a lot of Jeep Wrangler parts, online.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, man.
My opinion is stay away from the Hummer and maybe make a deal on a Jeep.
If you can, but you can't make a deal on a Jeep. That's the problem. You can't. I'm
Well,
telling you, they
not
bring.
Here, but I can go to the Midwest. I got family there.
If you
and I
do
can pick
that,
one up there.
if you do that, then of course you want to do that because then when you go to sell it, they hold their value.
Yep, I just rebuilt the '79 and sold it for $5,000 more than I had into it. So
Can you believe that? Unbelievable.
It's crazy. And I had people lining, even after the ad was down, they're still got it, you still got it.
Listen, I actually love the way the Rubicon, I love them. I think they're really cool looking. I think they're very cool looking, but I just can't justify that price tag. Kathy, what's going on, Kathy? Welcome.
Oh, thank you for taking my call.
What's going on, Kathy?
Well, I'm a little nervous. I don't call into the radio very often.
This must be serious. What's happening with your roof?
I can see why she doesn't call into radio shows.
No, your phone is screwing up a little. I didn't want to. I don't know why. Are you on your cell phone on a speaker or something? Suzanne, please help her with the phone, and if we can't get through, we'll have to call her back. Laura, what's going on with you, Laura?
Good morning, Tom. I'll be very brief. First, let me tell you that Lisa that called in earlier, we've got a friend that is a retired man that rebuilds Saturn SL series, and my son is getting ready to buy one with a brand new motor that has 104,000 original miles on it. The guy put a brand new motor into it. He does all the work himself. My son is paying $2,500 for that car.
Wow.
So I will give you my phone number, and if Lisa wants to get a hold of this guy, I've got 2 of these Saturns. One of them is 21 years old, and it just was in a collision that almost killed my husband on Tuesday, a high-speed collision. I have a Saturn that's 20 years old that has 130,000 original miles. It's like a brand-new car. And so these are wonderful cars.
Guys, have you found Saturns to be good cars?
Yeah,
They're gone. Yeah. Okay, right.
They're not even around anymore.
No, they don't make them. But she's saying this guy does all the work on them. So, Laura, what's happening?
Okay, Tuesday morning my husband was headed to work in our 96 Saturn SL2, and it has a lot of new parts, and, the guy did the transmission for us in the last few years and all that stuff. So my husband was headed to work, and we don't know what happened. We live out in eastern El Paso County. He drives a company truck all day, so a very careful driver. He went through an intersection at about 55, 60 miles an hour, which is the speed limit out here, and impacted another vehicle going the same speed. It was a T-bone deal. It almost killed my husband. He just got out of ICU. But the bad thing about this, that is the really worst of it all, was that the tow truck driver, and he's the only one that the Highway Patrol calls out in this area, charged us $52 a mile. It was about a 7 or 8 mile deal. The tow truck driver went out and picked up the car. At the time, I didn't even know there had been an accident.
You guys don't have insurance?
We had liability insurance.
Okay, so
you don't insure a 21-year-old Saturn.
No, of course not. But let me ask something. Are you sure it was $52 a mile?
It was about 7 or 8 miles between the accident and where the guy's property is in eastern El Paso County.
You can't take the bill. You can't take the bill and divide it by the mileage. It doesn't work.
He wrote it on there. Wrote it on the invoice, and it was $517.
What was the total bill?
$517.
And how many miles was it?
Like between probably 6 and 8 miles.
Okay, you did not pay $25 a mile. I can just do the math and tell it. Oh, hold on, $86. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah, but it's an accident.
Maybe
she had to clean up. He had to do a lot of stuff.
No. But even with that, I think she's right because I just did the math. Wait a minute. You're saying it was how much was it? 7?
It was the total bill was $517.
Okay,
I came up on the
take
accident after it happened.
$517 divided by 8. Okay, and then you come up with $64 a mile. But then what I'm saying is, you can't do that. What you have to do is there's a hookup charge, a cleanup charge, all that other charges, then it's so much a mile. But are you saying even after all that, it was still $25 a mile?
No, what I don't have the receipt, but I saw it yesterday. He said $52 a mile. Then there was some other charge on there called other for $20, and I'm figuring that
No. There's all kinds of charges that these guys make. They make hookup charges. They do cleanup charges. They do securing charges. Okay, but what I'm getting at is the actual per mile charge. If it was $25, if it truly was, that's ridiculous.
No,
Absolutely.
it was $52 a mile. He wrote it on there, 52.
If it was 52, it was ridiculous. Now, I'm not talking about the whole bill divided by the mileage. I'm talking about truly the per mile charge. In other words, it literally went up by every mile you went up. If that's the case, I want to look into
Did it just go right over you that she said, my husband was in ICU, he was almost killed, but that's not the worst thing that happened. The worst part was $52 a mile. That's literally what she said.
Well, she did, and you're right. And perhaps it's like talking to Suzanne or something. I don't know. I mean 303-713-TALK, just hang on. I didn't mean that. I'm just joking with you. But I do have to tell you about BioT. Now's a good chance, right? Hey, listen, folks, I'm getting a lot of questions off the air about BioT. Yes, it's for men and women. Let me just do these FAQs, frequently asked questions, okay? It's for men and women. It is a delivery system for testosterone, but testosterone is a building block that helps you build other things like estrogen, and they do balance estrogen as well along with testosterone, but testosterone is the pellet therapy that is implanted under your skin, just right under your skin. It's not like a surgery or anything, and it dissolves slowly in your system from over 4 to 6 months. So you only have to do it 2 or 3 times a year. It's a natural testosterone replenishment program, okay? And it's wonderful. And you only pay a few $100 a month for everything. What I like is this totally rejuvenates you, because the natural thing to do would be to shrivel up and die. But when it comes to replenishing your hormones, you are kind of doing some anti-aging stuff here. You are tricking nature. So call a BioT professional doctor near you, and they will set you up. You can ask questions, of course. biotmedical.com. I'm doing it. It's unbelievable. Trust me when I tell you, I can run circles around people 40 years old. biotmedical.com. I'm 63 until September. Okay, biotmedical.com. BIOTE medical.com.
This report is brought to you by LifeBlock.
Let's start off with the good news. It looks like that.
Hi, honey.
When their hands are stationary, they're lying. Are you still trying to get your
downtown I-25 stop and go, starting at about Broadway?
Are you behaving? Yes. Are you being good?
Somewhat. Mark's trying to change that.
Westbound I-70 slow from I-270 to...
Oh, my goodness.
Westbound 270 slow to Vasquez as well. The weather forecast mostly sunny and warm today with a high of 80 right now. 72. With traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30 K-How.
I hope that thing works for you.
I think it will. As long as
The only
people...
you just got to be really out there with the explanation. That's all.
Yep.
You can have expectation issues.
The Glenn Beck
But it's still, Scott's got great ways to handle it.
That's the only concern I would have.
I think that's the best thing about Scott.
Yeah, he's got
He understands.
He's a quick thing.
Just because the nuns were meowing.
So he still says it's still 2.5 hours of...
They still have it and stop meowing.
Yeah.
That's just that in general.
No matter what you say, you get those people that come in.
Absolutely. Scott will do good with it, though. He'll do real good.
on 630 KHOW. Paradigm Interiors, I'll tell you, they've been flooring Denver since 2003, and you should go there if you're looking
For floor coverings. Let me put it to you this way. You're crazy if you don't, because shopping is smart. And if you shop there, you're going to see a combination of great pricing, great selection like the big warehouses, but all #1 merchandise, no seconds or thirds, and you're going to see 2 guys dedicated to doing the best they can for you in a personalized way. So you get the big and the small. The big warehouse when it comes to the selection and the pricing, but the small mom and pop feel when it comes to your design consultant, your project manager and supervisor, 14 years in business, and you just got to stop in and see. Especially if you need any floor coverings at all, like waterproof carpeting. Yeah, they have it now. Hardwoods, laminates, vinyl. This new luxury vinyl tile, I absolutely love. 303-630-9204. They're on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. That's Don and Matt. Tell them I said hi. 303-630-9204. Have you been there yet, Mark?
Yes, actually, Suzanne's headed down there, I think, with our neighbor Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
Hey,
they're good people.
I got something I want you to hear, though. Can he play it? It's about 15 seconds. Go ahead, Drew.
Okay, hold on. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. We will in 1 second. Okay. So anyway, Paradigm. It's 303-630-9204.
A good shutdown would help make this country's wallet great again.
Believe me.
It would also make time for a nice trip down to Mar-a-Lago. Play a little golf, have a beautiful meal. Terrific. To make your wallet great again, never shut down your radio. Okay?
Listen to win $1,000 every hour on the hour. Every weekday from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Of all the wallets, mine is obviously the greatest.
$1,000.
But yours could be pretty good too, okay?
On 630 KHOW. It's Free Movie Friday from Atom Tickets. Go to khow.com to win. Download the Atom Tickets app or visit atomtickets.com for hassle-free movies. We'll see ya at the movies from Atom Tickets and Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Mark, what do you have?
You just got to hear that. I had to go hear it to believe it. Just go ahead and play it, Drew.
Play what, Mark?
Listen.
All right.
He went through an intersection at about 55, 60 miles an hour, which is the speed limit out here, and impacted another vehicle going the same speed. Was a T-bone deal. It almost killed my husband. He just got out of ICU. But the bad thing about this, that is the really worst of it all, was that the tow truck driver, and he's the only one that the Highway Patrol calls out in this area.
Oh, my God, keep that bite.
Charged us $52 a mile.
So that's the worst part of it.
It's not that her husband almost died. It's the $52
She's really
a mile.
stressed. Her
Now
husband's
listen,
been in the
we're
hospital.
going to help her. We're going to help her. Just have her send us the bill. I have to analyze it. We're not making light of it. She made more light of it than we did. She said, my husband almost died, but the worst part was the $52 a mile. But I do have to tell you about BioT until September. Okay, Hello? September. Hello? Okay, the tape. Okay, good. All right, we were playing that tape for...
He went through an intersection at about 55, 60
We're
miles
done.
an hour, which is the...
Thank you, Drew. We don't need to hear it anymore.
But that's not the worst of it.
Have her send us the bill, guys. I mean, Suzanne will take care of it. Norris, do you have... Norris, what about the... the titles. We want to remind people. That's right. I read the article. Norris called, and tell us what you called about, Norris, because I have the information here. Go ahead.
What I learned today from another of your Troubleshooter Show listeners is that if you call the state of Colorado to ask them about those titles, they'll tell you to call Arizona. And then if you call Arizona, they'll tell you that they can neither confirm or deny the fact that any titles were stolen.
Are you kidding me? So basically, when people buy a car and they're shown a free and clear title from Arizona, it could be one of the thousands and thousands of them that were stolen.
Yes, and the only way to know is to check the numbers against the list that's on that document I sent you.
Yes, you gave us a list, and we were going to publish this, and I still am. And I'm telling you, there are, so how many total, how many? There are thousands and thousands of them.
24,600.
Think about that. You know that they didn't steal them just for the hell of it. They're going to be attaching them to cars.
And those cars will probably be stolen cars or somehow otherwise fraudulently misrepresented.
This is a major deal. Now, why is Colorado the only state warning people?
It's the only document I've seen that's warning about it, and all Colorado did was copy the bulletin that came out of Arizona.
But Arizona won't confirm. But if you call Arizona, they won't tell you this.
Right.
Why wouldn't they? It seems weird to me that they wouldn't.
It does. It does seem weird, yeah. But That's what's going on.
All right. Thank you very much, Norris. I am going to put this out to all of our places.
Remember I said I thought cop cars should have that blinker technology built in. They see the back of the car, they see the license, and if it doesn't match, red flag up.
Well, that's true. They should do that electronically because now they have to call it in. You're right.
Or type it in, but I mean all the time as they're driving around.
You're right. Okay, so Kathy, I'm sorry, Kathy, we're disconnected before. We're running out of time. Your cell phone was acting up. But your roofer, tell me the problem with the roofer, dear. Let's try to get through some of it.
Okay, we paid Pro Team Roofing over $30,000. They have yet to complete the work, and now we have a lien on our property.
Hold on. Over $30,000. What was the total contract price?
$30,370.
Let's dig into this one day.
I promise you, we will dig into this, Kathy. Suzanne will call you back. I promise. We're out of time. I'm sorry. Thank you. Budget A1, Transmission, Sheridan Auto Tech, and Michael's Auto Body. Thank you all for being here. We have Troubleshooter.com and Referralist.com for archives, and save all your problems for me.
Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky here for my friends at American Financing. Are you a renter or in the market to buy a home? Did you know rental rates are at all...
Yeah, of course, man. I'm going to have a lot of it put together by Tuesday or Wednesday.
That's what Scott was telling me.
You're not going to be running spots probably till Wednesday.
Can I tell you something, guys? You got to respond to people when they call. You got to.
We've been through. He got rid of Wes. The guy that wasn't responding is gone.
Yeah, that was only the 3 days that Scott and I were gone. One of the calls was for something else other than cars, though. Okay, one of the calls.
They wanted to come in.
Right.
They wanted you to fix their.
The other call, they never came down. Well, anyway.